KIRO AM Seattle, KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports on 710salesports.com, Seattle Sports app, all the podcast platforms, 97.3 HD2, and, of course, YouTube, all of the above. Yes. Good to be with you guys today. Did not think this is how I would start the show today. I never imagined in a million years that this would be the way I would start the show. But I'd like to start today with a very sincere apology. I'm sorry. Truly, truly sorry. To everyone and everything associated with the Department of Licensing / DMV. What an unbelievable experience yesterday. It was phenomenal. It couldn't have gone better. I was joking and saying that it would be a huge I was going to the DMV, and I was dreading it and all of that yesterday. And at the end of the day, Maura, couldn't have been easier. I drove to the one in Shoreline. Shout out to everybody who works at I guess it's the Department of Licensing, but I guess, DMV, Department of Licensing, whatever. Went to the one in Shoreline. It's in like a strip mall in Shoreline. Walked in. Didn't have an appointment, mind you. Didn't have an appointment. I tried to get an appointment. The earliest appointment I could get was in June in Tukwila. So I drive up there. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to go do this. So I went in, went into the no appointment line. There was nobody in line. Guy gave me a number. I was third in line. He said it would take 15 minutes. It took less than 10 for me to get called. The actual process of doing what I needed to do took less than 5. And I was done in under 15 minutes. It was unbelievable. Truly the most shocking thing that happened yesterday. Nothing would be close. Yeah, all right, the Mariners beating a lefty was near there, but not nearly as surprising, at least to me, as the speed and what was I going to say, just the pleasantness of going to the DMV yesterday. So huge shout out to everybody there. Thank you. That couldn't have been easier. I was shocked. Did not see that coming. Did not see that coming at all. And then I got to go home and watch Mariners yesterday, and they win. Remember the person yesterday on Late Night Texts who had said that the Mariners had already lost the series? Yeah, you actually have to play the third game, and they did, and they won. It was a weird series. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know whether it was one that filled the fans with confidence, but you got to win, and you just beat the Braves, who had been the best team in baseball, and beat them 2 out of 3, and were the first team to beat them in a series this year. Were they missing Acuna and Harris? Yeah, but so what? You're missing Brendan Donovan. You're missing half your relievers. Like, is that quite even out? No, but you beat them 2 out of 3. And that is important. And yes, we still did get some late night texts.
Late night Mariners texts.
I like some of these. Just a few. So the Mariners are good now, right? There is that element of after a win, they're good, and after a loss, they're bad. They are a little confounding. We'll go through some of that a little bit later in the show. There is a confounding element, and obviously that inconsistent up and down element that has to remind you not to overreact one way or another to each one of these wins or losses. No loss proves that they're bad. No win proves that they're good. The baseball is determined over a long length of time. But I think this next one gives you a little bit more of a sense. Tough homestand, but somehow this team is 7-5 in its last 12. Go figure, baseball. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a much cleaner way of looking at it, looking at the last 5, 10, 12, 20 games to try to give you a sense of where the team is at. It did feel like a really tough homestand. Obviously, 2-4 was not what you were hoping for. But if you had beaten the Royals 2 out of 3 and gotten swept by the Braves, you probably would feel a little better. Or maybe not. Like, maybe it's easier to just write it off and just say, hey, look, They just, they blew a weird game against the Royals. They just, okay, fine. Sometimes a team like that gets your number. But to go out and beat a team that is also in the World Series conversation in Atlanta, like that's a significant step and is a reason why this team has been considered to be a World Series contender themselves since the offseason. So maybe you actually look at it as more of a positive. Or maybe you just say, whatever, it's 6 games, and it's really not worth making too many sweeping judgments based on that. Now, I did like this one, Salk. And by the way, no U in Salk. Let's just be clear. It's just S-A-L-K. You don't need to add a U. Salk, now that they have ABS, Lyle, I'm curious what you think of this. Now that they have ABS, that's the challenge system, I wish they wouldn't show the strike zone box on TV. The challenges would be more suspenseful if I didn't already know the outcome. That's actually kind of an interesting thought. I would be, as I've said before, totally fine with removing the zone box. We watched a game, was it Little League World Series or College World Series or whatever we were watching? It was like, oh, this is so much better. I like not having the box. I like not knowing whether the box thinks it's a strike or not, and just sort of the element of what do I think, watching it. I thought it was great. Do you think it would be worth it now that they have ABS to take away the box and make the challenges a little bit more suspenseful?
Nah, I like having the box up.
Why?
Just gives you an extra visual. I like knowing where the strike zone is.
Do you remember life without the box?
Yeah, I mean, I was younger, but I think I've just, gotten used to it now. But again, I prefer having the visual of knowing what's close and what isn't.
I think it'd be fine if they got rid of it. And obviously you could still, run up you still have it as a graphic that you could put up later. I like that idea. I think it's a good one. I think it's a pretty decent idea. I would love to at least test it out. Try a game without it. Hey, what does it look like without this? And then go from there. I like that idea. Thank you for the text. I think it's an interesting one.
At ABS as something that I need to be have suspense for.
Well,
it's just a part of the game that needed to happen.
All right, I'll admit that I actually just don't like the box in general, and so this was just
No, you haven't.
This is just a nice little thing because once I didn't realize I didn't like it until I watched the game without it. And I was like, oh, well, this is actually delightful. More of this, please. So I am on a little bit of a, Don Quixote-like crusade against the box.
Oh, without ABS.
You know who Don Quixote is?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Without the challenge system, no, I think you definitely need the box. Because I ain't letting umpires walk off scot-free with getting away with some of these calls.
I get that. I understand. But now that you have it, they don't get off scot-free. Why not throw away the box? I think it's a good idea. And then last one, saying at this point, having Cal bat second in the lineup is hindering the offense. I'd put Cole Young there and put Cal in the 5 or 6 spot. Yeah, no, you leave Cal where he is. I know he's going through a little bit of a rough stretch and he's been hurt and all that. Look, the Cal one is actually easier for me to understand if you want to drop him down temporarily just until he gets completely healthy. Okay, fine. But moving Cole Young up, you've already moved him up once. You don't need to move him up again. Salk, you're a boomer. Salk, the box is great. You sound like an old man. I think businesses sponsor the box. That's why it's never going away. Yeah, all right. I get that. I get it. But try it. Just try it. Try it with, I honestly did not have this take until we watched the game. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. Not knowing. I get a lot less irritated. I agree with you, Salk. It looks better when the box is gone, and on Fox, they've got a faded box. What is this, a Dr. Seuss riddle? I don't know. I just kind of like it. All right, Mariners are going to head out on the road to see two teams that have not been very good this year, Chicago and Houston. Does that mean anything? No. I think at this point we would be very, very clear about the fact that who they're playing doesn't seem to have a major effect on their success rate. But you sure would love to go out, take care of business against a White Sox team that has not been built to contend in a while, and an Astros team that just lost one of its best players for the rest of the year and also has not been very good this year. So you'll learn a little bit more about it all. Plus, Bryce Miller last night, how did he do? That's a Need to Know next.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
When you head to your local Toyota dealer to purchase a new car, ask them this question. Do you offer a lifetime powertrain warranty? If the answer is no, then visit Toyota of Kirkland if you're in the north or Toyota of Renton if you're in the south. Both stores protect your vehicles for life with powertrain warranties on all Toyota models outside of the BZ. Not all Toyota dealers are built the same. Head to toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com and receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on your next Toyota.
How many times have we heard lowest prices, best service ad nauseum? At Pacific Power Batteries, we know that good stuff isn't cheap, and neither are good, trained employees. But at Pacific Power Batteries, the phenomenal people can install your auto, boat, or RV battery for a nominal charge. We offer cash and carry pricing for you do-it-yourselfers. We'll leave the balloons, monkeys, and trumpets to the other guys. But either way, Pacific Power Batteries is a great place to buy batteries.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. So much more than just physical and hand therapy, though, Shannon. You guys, holy smokes, do you have a lot of specialty care?
Yeah, Brock, we do. You know, obviously our nuts and bolts is good old musculoskeletal, but we have a lot of therapists that do advanced certifications in specialty care. And that's important because we can treat the whole population. We can treat your neighborhood. We can treat your family. And those specialty services range from neurovestibular care to dry needling, sports medicine, hand therapy, pelvic floor, vestibular rehab, lymphedema, you name it, we have that service. Again, we're about taking care of the whole family and the whole family's needs.
Remember, IRG, they're in your neighborhood. I'm talking over 40 locations and new additions in Wallingford and the WAC as well, that Washington Athletic Club. You can find them in person. You can find it online at irgpt.com. That is irgpt.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Mother's Day is coming, and you gotta show love to the mothers in your life. You know you gotta take care of mom. Plus, my wife just became a first-time mom. So yeah, Mother's Day matters, and you gotta get it right. That's why I'm sending flowers from the Books Company. Right now, get 25% off with code CANTY. Books flowers are cut fresh, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last way longer. And it's easy. Pick the bouquet, the delivery date, and you're done. Mother's Day is May 10th, so don't wait. Go to Books.com, use code CANTY to get 25% off. That's BOUQS.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. Vesey & Sons Incorporated reminds parents the fatal crash rate for teens peaks at age 19, and we lose nearly 8 kids every day. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, text behind the wheel, or ride with anyone who is. Always designate a sober driver, call a parent or rideshare, and let's bring our children home safely. A message from the entire team at Vesey & Sons Incorporated. Family owned for over 60 years, and wishing all our kids a safe and successful future.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
And baseball really is a strange game, right? You get swept by the Royals only to turn around and beat Atlanta 2 out of 3, a team that hadn't lost a single series all year. It wasn't always pretty, but it absolutely counts. Yesterday, they needed their ace. They needed Bryan Woo to step up, and that's exactly what he did, going through 6 innings, just allowing a hit, no runs. He was awesome.
We talk about that a lot. You know, the starter getting through that 6th inning, getting through that 7th inning kind of sets up your bullpen, and it did today tremendously. You know, we really wanted to get Kriz in there in the 7th, and then we had Bizzardo and Ferrer, you know, in a save situation, and it just worked out that way. But getting there through the 6th inning from Bryan, that was big. And like I said, he went out there with 85 pitches. It was going to be a little dicey as to whether he was going to finish that inning or not, but he did, and he put an exclamation mark on his outing today.
I like that and totally agree, and I think you hear just a little bit more certainty in Dan's voice, the way he talks about it. He's absolutely right. Huge day for Bryan Woo, and for him, it was a lot of just a simplification.
Just try to simplify things, honestly. Feels like the last 2 starts, just try to do too much, think too much. You know, diving into scouting reports maybe too much, just like thinking too much, honestly. I feel like just my best brand of baseball is do my homework before and talk to catchers and whatnot, but like when it's time to go on the mound, just go compete. And I feel like I kind of got away from that in the last 2 starts.
It is always impressive to me almost every time we hear from Bryan Woo after a really good start, or in this case, a bounce back great start, how he goes back to the mental part of the game. He's obviously got the physical tools, but when he references the mental part, in this case, simplifying, I don't know, it just always stands out to me. I find him to be a pretty fascinating figure. Mariners score 9 of their 10 runs in the series via the long ball yesterday. It was Julio with a big one. So they get back to now 18-20, just a game out of first place. They get a day off today. Then they go off, as I mentioned, to see the White Sox and Astros on the road. Now, those 2 clubs are a combined 11 games below 500. Houston just lost Carlos Correa for the season. You would think that should spell a nice, easy road trip, but as we know with this team, you don't take anything for granted, no matter what, positively or negatively. They're just going to have to go out and do it.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, so rehabs continuing for the Mariners last night. Bryce Miller in Everett, Brendan Donovan in Arkansas. At least he was supposed to be. Unfortunately, rain in Arkansas canceled that game. I think they had really crazy storms. I know they had some tornadoes in Mississippi over the last couple days. I'm not sure if that was the case in Arkansas as well. But as for Miller, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He was able to get up to 61 pitches, 38 of them for strikes. Fastball got up to 98 miles an hour. Is he back? Probably not quite yet. I would think he's going to need at least 1 more. Story was that he looked good, maybe not quite great, but you're getting very close to what is obviously somewhat of an uncomfortable conversation. We asked Jeff Passan what happens.
I think it all depends on where Luis Castillo's
frame of mind is. And if Luis Castillo is open to going to the bullpen, you consider that. And if he is not, then you take a look and see what his willingness to go on the injured list is. And if that's not the case, then maybe you do consider a six-man rotation. I think there are just lots of different possibilities here, but there's no point in trying to adjudicate them before necessary.
Well, it's coming. It is fast approaching, and Brian Woo's not going anywhere. George Kirby's not going anywhere. Logan Gilbert's not going anywhere. Emerson Hancock, I just don't see how he could possibly be going anywhere. So the conversation will absolutely be here sooner rather than later, as much as you want to put it off.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on the Seahawks sale. There's not been a lot of news or conversation about it, but a little note in a mailbag yesterday from our friend Albert Breer said this. Because it's Seattle, a lot of the same big names get cycled through. From the sounds of it, Clippers owner and ex-Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer might be more likely than Amazon tycoon Jeff Bezos, but I'm not sure either is a probable bidder. I've heard a few other names as potential buyers. One who's a limited partner in an NBA team. Now, that would be interesting. We've talked about that as a possibility with Matt Ishbia. Steve Apostolopoulos, Canadian billionaire, is a name that I gave you guys a couple of months ago when this first went down. Breer mentions him and says he did bid on the Commanders in 2023, and I'm not sure he's the only big money bidder from north of the border. Yes, it's been quiet, but that's generally the way things are. I wouldn't take it as a sign of any inactivity. No, I'm sure there's a lot bubbling behind the scenes, just that we don't know about it yet. We asked Andrew Brandt about how this would impact John Schneider and the ability of he and his staff to do his job.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there's some kind of meddling owner, we're sort of past those days. I think the money is so big. Someone is going to get involved that just has so much in their portfolio to spend this kind of money. I don't think they're going to be meddling. I think he's going to continue to have extraordinary power and use it, and of course has the resume to prove it.
I sure hope so. I mean, obviously, you know what it looks like. Maybe it's not about meddling, but you know what it looks like in Cleveland and some Jets, some of the places where ownership just is not able to set the right culture. Obviously, the hope here is that they would continue with the culture that already exists. Meanwhile, Bloomberg reporting yesterday that the Kraken and One Roof Sports and Entertainment owner Samantha Holloway has hired JP Morgan Chase and Moelis & Company as financial advisors to assist with their NBA bid. That should be as big a no-brainer as there is. That is everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right, so I think this is probably going to end up being a 2-day deal, but Brock and I did something I don't think we've ever done. We recorded a nighttime interview. Yeah. So last night, I jumped on my computer. Brock jumped on his, just so you won't get the normal background or normal microphone sound. We did it just with AirPods. Hopefully it sounds okay when you guys hear it. But we talked to Kirk Cousins as part of Brock's great idea of trying to speak with some of the quarterbacks that faced the Seahawks last year. Remember, we had fun with Phillip Rivers a few weeks ago. And we got to talk to Kirk Cousins yesterday. So you'll hear, it ended up going long just because we were having fun talking together. So, but the first 20 minutes or so we'll do at 8:30 today, and then the rest of it tomorrow at 7:30, I think. But he was great. It's funny. We've been talking about him for so long, right? Whether it was getting drafted with Russell Wilson or all the times he's played against the Seahawks or even the, deciding each year to take the franchise tag money. He's really been unique in that regard. And we went through all of that with him in addition to talking about, the Seahawks and Mike McDonald and what he saw with the defense and Nick Emanwari and Leonard Williams. So there's just a ton of cool stuff in there. I really enjoyed it. And so that'll start at 8:30, and then the whole thing will be up on YouTube. So if you want to just watch it in its entirety, that'll all be on the YouTube page. Pretty cool. All right. Tom Pelissero helped us out by explaining why Dante Fowler, because that's a huge, huge signing in my book. Why is he here? Why did he want to come to Seattle, and why did they want him? Stick around. You'll hear next on Brock and Salk.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
You know, just head-scratching moments, just booting ball, just sloppy play.
Are the Mariners really as far down as they appear? Turns out they are. 28 out of 30 in terms of defensive wins above replacement. It's a concern. The numbers say it's a concern. Your eyes say it's a concern. And for a team that's built around pitching, defense, run prevention, you can't give extra out.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Like me, I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Inc. Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
When you head to your local Toyota dealer to purchase a new car, ask them this question. Do you offer a lifetime powertrain warranty? If the answer is no, then visit Toyota of Kirkland if you're in the north or Toyota of Renton if you're in the south. Both stores protect your vehicles for life with powertrain warranties on all Toyota models outside of the BZ. Not all Toyota dealers are built the same. Head to toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com and receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on your next Toyota.
As spring picks up, Chef Store helps you keep pace. Stock up on the essentials from fresh meat and seasonal produce to frozen foods, syrups, sauces, and supplies. Open to the public, no membership required. Chef Store. Buying big, made easy.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Chris Canty here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that your fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required, not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Celebrate Mom with Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel's Mother's Day weekend giveaway. You could win one of 100 designer handbags filled with prizes on Saturday, May 9th and Sunday, May 10th. Don't forget to book a stay at the new hotel. It's awesome. Elevate your next getaway by combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Head to snocasino.com for details. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay, calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's always fun to get breaking news, Brock, and it was surprising yesterday morning when it popped up before 7 a.m., but it was Tom Pelissero, no surprise, with the big news that Dante Fowler had signed with the Seahawks, and he's kind enough to join us now. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Doing great. How about you guys?
We're good. NFL Networks, Tom Pelissero. But it's ESPN now a little bit too. Where are you in the ESPN NFL Network deal?
Yeah, we don't want to screw this up because we used to introduce you as USA Today's Tom Pelissero.
I held on to that one
after
too
the
long.
Fact, so we'd love to just kind of get
this right. Are we going NFL Network or ESPN?
The best way I would describe it is I work for ESPN. I do not work at ESPN.
Okay.
NFL Network remains its own unique identity. There is a mouse on my check now, so that's a little bit different. But other than that, nothing's really changed.
How's the dental? Does that change at all? I mean, we've talked before about your beautiful teeth. How's the dental with Disney?
We have it. That's the extent I know at this point is I have a card that says I have it when I need it. Good. And I'm sure sometime before training camp I'll pop over and see my guy.
Love it.
Would you say your hair-teeth combo is the best in the business? Like maybe others have better hair, maybe few. I don't even know anybody who's got better teeth. But the hair-teeth combo, as far as like a draft profile, best in the business?
I think the real question here is which will go first. Does the hair start to go, or do the teeth just start to turn color and fall out? Right. And I don't know. I mean, you'd probably, I can't give gambling advice, but if I were a betting man, I'd say the hair.
Yeah.
But then I see my dad who's like in his 70s and still, I mean, he only recently has started to have a little bit of gray in there. So I think I've got the genes to hold on for a while.
Jeez. What a gift. Seriously. Tom, we got to go. This is enough. This is already too much. You're just too perfect to specify.
Appreciate you joining the show.
All right. Hey, why Dante Fowler? Tell me about this guy. Why did the Seahawks sign Dante Fowler yesterday?
Well, he's got a close relationship with Aiden Derde from their days in Dallas. That was a big piece of it. He obviously visited a couple of weeks ago. And I'd give credit to AD as well as to Joey Lane and those guys for having a plan in place. They went into the draft, and if you were talking about the needs for the Seahawks going into that draft, I mean, certainly, you'd have running back on there, corner, safety, edge, and offensive lineman. Edge is really the one that wasn't addressed, but they didn't have to reach on it because they were confident that if they didn't draft one, that they'd be able to get something done with Dante. It took a week and a half after the draft, but they bring him in. He's number 3 overall pick back in 2015, which seems like a long time ago. Back in 2015, I did a whole day with him when I was at USA Today, like a ride along. We drove around in his convertible in Florida and hung out with his family, and I did a story on him. That's now 11, 12 years ago, going into year 12. In the NFL, but he's still got, traits. He's still got pass rush ability. He had double-digit sacks in 2024 in Washington. These guys are going to know how to use him, and it's a logical fit at, let's point this out, a fraction of the price if they brought back Boye Mafe. I mean, Mafe's younger, obviously, but has not had the sack production. I mean, you can make an argument that that it's an upgrade. It's certainly an upgrade in terms of the value of having to bring back Mafe at $20 million a year or whatever it was he got in free agency. You get Dante for 1 year up to $5 million. It's a great fit with a coordinator who knows how to use him.
Tommy Pelissero here with us this morning. So, Tom, as you chat with agents and people around the league, where does Seattle rank now as a destination?
Well, it's certainly up there. John Schneider has done this a long time, and we kind of, we know what his track record is, which is he's going to be selectively aggressive. He has rarely, if ever, gone out in the first wave of free agency and paid the bloated prices. His strategy, and there's 15 years of track record on more than that now, is that, all right, you wait until all the funny money's gone, and then you're a day or two into free agency. You see who's still sitting out there. Maybe you can get something done, even if it's your own guys. And it's, Rashid Shaheed, who went out there with a number in free agency. It just didn't materialize. They were patient. They didn't overpay up front. And then it came back to a number that they could live with here. Trades, he's always been, extremely aggressive. But in terms of now in this wave of free agency where it's, the players who, listen, up to $5 million isn't a huge contract by NFL standards. And now, where else would you want to go? The culture in that building is really good. They're obviously coming off of a Super Bowl win. Mike McDonald is one of the best young coaches in all of football, win the Super Bowl in year 2. Their facilities are still great. As long as you can, deal with the weather, it's a great place to live. There's not a lot of places, I don't think, that are better than Seattle. But again, what I would stress is they've never been a team that's competed dollar for dollar in that first wave of free agency. They've always had a plan. They've sold other things and found value. It's part of how John's kept the roster healthy for the better part of 2 decades now. And certainly with the Dante Fowlers of the world, why would you want to, in this particular situation, why would you want to go anyplace else?
Did you get any sense, Tom, in breaking this news yesterday that Dante had other options?
Oh, he absolutely had other options, but those relationships that he had, again, coming in for the visit, his communication with AD, and the way that Joey and those guys had kind of, kept in contact and kept the thing alive. That was all a big part of it. I mean, listen, there's still a bunch of pass rushers sitting out there, older guys. You got, the Von Millers, Cam Jordan, Joey Bosa, if he wants to keep playing, Brandon Graham, Jadeveon Clowney, former Seahawk and former almost everything else in the NFL too. I mean, those guys are out there as well. None of them are getting, big money at this point, but there's certainly a ton of teams out there with pass rush needs. And so, yes, absolutely. Fowler would have had other options. It just, it happened that it all dialed up, and AD's presence was a big piece of it there.
You mentioned the ride-along you did with him all those years ago. What do you remember from it? Tell me a little bit more about him.
I mean, he was, I think, 20 years old at that point. He was one of the youngest guys in the draft. He had, I just remember, driving in his convertible, like down the highway going 80 miles an hour. You want to talk about the stress on my hair. That was not my best day. But going over, like we had dinner with his family. We talked about just kind of, the bigger ambitions. Like he's always wanted to, at that time in his life, he was thinking about, someday getting into, movies and doing things in the entertainment space. And he's a, bright personality. He definitely, he had his, things that he went through early in his career, put himself, frankly, in some bad situations, was able to come out on the other side of it and have a long career. I mean, remember, this is a guy who tore his ACL the first day of rookie camp back in 2015. You want to talk about a way to start your NFL career. He had to come back from that. He had to come back from some things off the field. Again, situations that he put himself in. But, he's grown a lot. He had a little daughter, I believe, at that point, who was, just the centerpiece of his universe. That little girl's now got to be a teenager, which again, you think about the math on that. It's pretty wild. But just remember, like he was a guy who just kind of, he lit up the room when you were talking with him. He had not had, the huge numbers in college. It was a traits projection. It's a fair to say, some would say, all right, the guy's a bust because he's got 58 sacks. But, 12 years in the league, man, that's not a bust. It's a guy who was drafted a little bit higher. Maybe he never got to those heights, but he's been a really solid player for a long time. And at this stage in his career, he's in a perfect spot.
Don't even really want to ask this question. And as you broke the news yesterday and we responded to it, I waited to the very end of the segment to even bring it up with Salk about the other shoe that could drop. Was there any indication, have you gotten any sense whatsoever with DeMarcus Lawrence that this was a move made to, well, DeMarcus maybe thinking about retirement, and has kind of talked about that in the past a little bit. Do you have any sense at all with that, Tom?
I have gotten no sense of that whatsoever. And in fact, those two are together in Dallas. They're pretty tight. So that was, I believe, part of the draw. From everything that I've understood, no, that's not. Listen, D-Law is he's a unique guy. He's also had a really long career in this league. He's made a ton of money in his career. He can choose to walk anytime. But no, with respect to him deciding to walk away, I have not gotten that sense whatsoever. It's May. Things can change, but I have not gotten that sense.
Do you think they're done, or do you think there is? You mentioned all those other pass rushers. They're all still out there. The market has not been kind to them. Could we see Cam Jordan or one of the other guys here as well?
I haven't gotten the sense that they're going to do anything else free agent wise. Again, John's always looking for bargains, and injuries happen through the course of the offseason. Circumstances change. Rookies may not develop as quickly. Some of those guys that I'm talking about, they may not sign until closer to minicamp. They may not sign until training camp. Think about the number of big names that are out there right now without teams. I mentioned all those pass rushers, but look at the receivers. You got Debo, Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek, who's obviously coming off a major injury. We'll see if he's ready to go in 26. Keenan Allen, Juwan Jennings, Odell's trying to get back in. Brandon Cooks is out there. This is that time of year where all these guys who have made a ton of money aren't going to get offered a ton of money. And so at some point, you got to decide, do you want to play football? Take the best offer, the best situation, and get out there. They had running backs in the offseason too. They had Najee Harris in for a visit. I haven't gotten the sense that that's still on the table for him. And obviously bringing in Jadarian Price shores up that running back position. They were confident enough in what they think they're getting with Price that they didn't want to move all the way back into the 50s and risk losing the guy. But certainly you could add a running back along the way as well. Austin Eckler's out there, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon. Again, I haven't gotten the sense that any of those guys are, anything is happening with any of those guys. But the point being, there's a ton of players that are still sitting out there. They're not going to be super expensive. So, keep an eye out because John's always aggressive, with all aspects of roster building. If he feels like there's a need and there's a cool fit, he's not going to hesitate to pursue it.
And he also is pretty transparent. Tom Pelissero here with us, and I think he's made it pretty clear of his intentions that Charles Cross, JSN, Devin Witherspoon were all priorities that he wants to get deals done. 2 of the 3 are done. I should have texted you before the segment here. I apologize, Tom. Do you know who Devin Witherspoon's agent is by any chance?
Devin Witherspoon's agent. See, now you're trying to catch me in one, but you're not going to be able to because I know it's Reggie Johnson and Ricky Saylor. So they're his agents. Reggie's he's done some deals in the past. He's got a couple of things potentially on the docket for this offseason here. I thought that deal was going to get done a while ago because the corner market is pretty well established, especially after, the deal that Trent McDuffie got done. And then after JSN's deal got done where, they exercised the option just like they did with Spoon. They did a deal built around the new money on top of that. That put, JSN at the top of the wide receiver market. It shouldn't be that complicated to get something done with the corner too. But obviously you got to have an agent who is willing to, stay engaged and a player who's willing to take the deal. I would still think that something gets done on that front, but I've not heard of anything imminent recently.
I guess that's kind of why I asked the question, because that was my understanding as well. And they've certainly got a ton of money under the cap and money they want to and have set aside to get this done. And I kind of asked you about his agents, because are they kind of known in the industry as difficult to get deals done? Have they gotten deals done with John and the Seahawks in the past? From what I do understand, it's kind of, hey, let's go. We would like to, and he's participating in the OTA. So I'm not trying to create a story when there's not one, but just kind of some, I guess, background on their agents as to maybe why his agent as to why this isn't done.
It's the same agency that reps JSN. So it's different agents, but it's the same agency. This shouldn't be a difficult deal to get done. But, every negotiation is different. The Seahawks have, their structure and their methods of doing business here. Again, you had JSN, who was, one of the best players in the NFL last year and was able to get a deal done in March. I am a little bit surprised that we're sitting here in the first week of May and nothing is done with Spoon, but there's there are literally millions and millions of reasons for them to take a deal at some point here in the coming months. If you don't, you go in and you're making a really low number in 2026. I just, all logic would point toward this deal gets done, and I wouldn't make too much of the fact that it's not done yet.
We got Tom Pelissero with us for a few more minutes. Just kind of looking at the general reputation of the Seahawks. It's been funny not seeing a lot about them this offseason, and some of that is they don't make the splashy moves in free agency, as you said, but we're seeing a lot of the Rams and just is there a sense that this was a fluke or just that it was a surprise that they won the Super Bowl this year?
I definitely would not say a fluke. They looked like a force to be reckoned with. The fact that you I think it's fair to say, dominate the Super Bowl on a day where the passing game wasn't great. I mean, there's so much more upside. There's so much meat left on that bone for how good they can be moving forward. I think it is a product of, listen, they feel like they've got a really good core. The focus of their moves in this offseason, last year was so wild because you had, the Russ trade and the DK trade, or excuse me, not Russ, the Geno trade and the DK trade, signing Darnold, like there was a ton of movement. This year, a lot of it was defined by what was going to happen with their own guys. They lose not just Kenneth Walker, but they lose Kobe Bryant. They're able to get some of their other guys back, obviously. And then it's about, extending some of those core players like JSN and Witherspoon. That's really been, kind of the focus. We're going to get into the season, and I'm sure that the focus is going to turn. Obviously, the Rams have given us a ton of reasons all the way through the draft to talk about everything going on there, from, Puka obviously going through a lot in this course this offseason, to Devontae Adams being told, hey, we're probably going to trade you, just kidding, you're still on the team, to them dabbling, in the market of trading for A.J. Brown, to trading for Trent McDuffie, drafting Ty Simpson. I mean, the Rams are just, they've done a ton of different things in this offseason. Seattle, by comparison, is really just focused on, their own guys. But again, I think that it's partly a product of, you guys are out there in the Pacific Northwest. John says that all the time, it's those mid-afternoon sleepy starts. No one pays attention. And I think there's some truth to that. But come the season, they're still the team everyone's got to take down. They've had a ton changeover on the coaching staff, obviously. Starting out with the offensive coordinator. Brian Fleury he's a really sharp guy. He's a different personality than Clint, but much like Clint, he's a very calm, lower key type of personality. The run game is his expertise. You got other coaches there like Jake Peets, who are obviously going to be heavily involved in this thing as we move forward. Those would be some of the storylines here, because the bar was set pretty high with how they ran the ball down the stretch, and particularly in the Super Bowl. Can they capture that? Can they build on that without Kenneth Walker, without Clint there, with the changes they've had on the staff? That's the stuff we're going to be watching. It's just not as sexy as, hey, what's Devontae Adams got left when you almost traded him a couple of months ago?
You and I are thinking the same thing, right?
Salky, we got a competition here. I mean, we kind of thought Albert Breer, our boy Bert, was like so well versed on the Seahawks, like the national voice that's like all dialed in on the Seahawks. I don't know, man. Tom Pelissero's dropping Joey in the scouting department, right? He's going deep, like personnel.
It kind of sounds like maybe now getting that Disney check has sort of like upped the ante a little bit.
Come on. I think I've been pretty well at the forefront of Seahawks stuff for like 14 years here. So.
We love you, totally.
You are.
But that was just an impressive display. That was just like, whoa, this guy knows everything that's going on right now. Like you're like locked in. You're like a hitter that is seeing a beach ball at the plate. Like you can't miss right now.
I mean, you got the roster in front of you. You got the coaching staff in front of you. You got the scouting department in front of you. What do we do? Or is this all off the riff?
This is all off the top of my head, man. This is like the stuff that when, like my wife will come home from a business trip and be like, hey, I thought you were going to fold the laundry. It's like all that was going through my head was, wait, who's Devin Witherspoon's agent? It's like the constant, that's the sound in my head all the time. It's like I've got a lot of other stuff in there.
That's good.
Hey, is Aaron Rodgers going to go to the Cardinals?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it would be a shock. Listen, Aaron's, well, we should know sometime in the next, let's call it week and a half here, I believe.
What comes out first?
Aaron's
Aaron's news or NFL schedule news? Yeah.
Fool me once. But no, I believe that, the target date, everybody talked about the draft. It's really, May 18th is the start of OTAs. Mike McCarthy's put a big emphasis on that through the years, going all the way back to, Green Bay 06, 07, when he got Brett Favre to show up for voluntary practices for the first time in forever. Aaron knows that offense like the back of his hand, but, the other guys don't. And having your QB1 present for the actual on-field competitive stuff is important. And just having him around the guys in the building, some of the new parts, the players he doesn't know as well. Aaron's been working out. He's been talking a lot with Mike. I've said this consistently for months. If I had to lean, I would say I lean toward Aaron Rodgers is the Steelers quarterback. If he's not that, then maybe he's just walking away. Any other scenario, I would fairly regard here, barring something like a quarterback, keeling over on the field tomorrow, tearing an ACL. I just don't see another scenario beyond Aaron Rodgers is the Steelers quarterback or Aaron Rodgers is on the beach this fall.
What's Sam Darnold's middle name? I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. You need to go get to the laundry.
Oh, you should know that.
I don't even think Sam knows that.
I don't know that one.
Nobody knows that. We don't know that.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
We just learned Brock's middle name yesterday. So don't worry about it.
Looks like it's Richard.
Richard?
Yeah, Sam.
Seymour knew it.
No, I looked it up.
Oh.
His middle name's after his grandfather, for crying out loud, but we're not going to mention his name.
Richard Hammer.
You should start calling him Dick Darnold, though, on the air. I feel like he's earned it now. He was Sam. Now he's got a Super Bowl. He's Dick Darnold, and you're going to deal with it.
Can you imagine how different Sam Darnold would be if he was Dick Darnold? Can you imagine just how differently he'd be thought of? It'd be a whole different person. All right, Tom, we're embarrassing you with this stuff.
Go.
We'll let you go. You've got more agents and free agents to memorize, and I just was blown away today.
Absolutely incredible.
All jokes aside, thank you. You really are one of the best, and love having you on the show. Thank you so much.
You got it, fellas.
All right, the great Tom Pelissero from Minnesota. Yes, he was at USA Today, then NFL Network, and now they're a part of ESPN. So I think you hear in there, right? He broke the news on Dante Fowler, and I think when you hear that he spent time with him when he was first drafted and spent a full day with him, maybe there's a relationship there with the agent or whatever, and so he breaks that story yesterday or a couple days ago, and I love it. I do think it's a good thing for the Seahawks. More you brought up, speaking of relationships, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel and the news that came out yesterday. This one's weird.
You might be right. If more and more of this just keeps trickling out, he may have to resign at some point.
Well,
I thought it was going to go away.
I just don't see how it's not a huge distraction for the team. It's surprising to me that it hasn't happened yet, but maybe it won't. I mean, look, I don't know all the behind the scenes, but the story yesterday is they have receipts of the two of them on a little rented boat together. This is a few years ago. She's 8 months pregnant at the time.
Yeah. And they were the only two people.
It's just the two of them hanging out, a nice little romantic date on a boat. I mean, without getting, and G will be in tomorrow at 8:30, so obviously we'll dig into this more deeply with him. But that's not a traditional physical affair. If she's 8 months pregnant and he's on a romantic solo boat trip together, that's a little more of a relationship, right?
I mean, when I found out it had been going on for 6 years, I just assumed it had gotten deeper.
I did not. I assumed it was still whenever we meet. But then you hear that and you're like, it does sort of sound like a real relationship that they were in. And I'll admit, this was right before her son Michael was born. It does make you wonder a little more about the poor kid and whose kid it is. Oh, the whole thing is so strange. Anyway, we're not going to get too deep into it today or anything, but I just came out yesterday and I was like, man, this whole thing just each day gets just a little bit stranger. And I still think he should resign. I think he should, and maybe he will. We'll find out. All right, Brock's coming in here in just a minute. We do have Kirk Cousins for you guys at 8:30. When you're not hitting, there's one thing you can do, and the Mariners did it yesterday. It's next on Brock and Salk.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
You know, just head-scratching moments, just booting ball, just sloppy play.
Are the Mariners really as far down as they appear? Turns out they are. 28 out of 30 in terms of defensive wins above replacement. It's a concern. The numbers say it's a concern. Your eyes say it's a concern. And for a team that's built around pitching, defense, run prevention, you can't give extra out.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Trex decking products on sale now through May 31st at Dunn Lumber.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
My first car sale was from Michigan. I get this lead. This guy had been looking for this very specific truck across the whole U.S., and he's concerned about rust. And I'm like, why don't we FaceTime? I will crawl beneath the truck. I literally was on my back beneath this vehicle, showing him all the welds that he wanted to see. He agreed, put down a deposit, held the truck, flew out that night from Michigan. I picked him up at the airport. He had his cashier's check. We went through everything, and that was my first car sale. So here's the catch. If you're willing to put a limit on what you're willing to do to be a good person, to help somebody out, or to help in the community, then that limit exists. So you don't. You just do what it takes to be the type of person you want to be and to help people like you hope that they would help you. And it doesn't matter. You just do what it takes.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile Pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The Pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the Pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
With Mariners Value Games, you can score tickets starting under $12 on select dates all season, including the series against the White Sox, May 18th through 20th. And on the 18th and 19th, you can also take home a Josh Naylor bobblehead, thanks to Western Washington Toyota dealers. Get your tickets at mariners.com/valuegames.
Mother's Day is coming, and you gotta show love to the mothers in your life. You know you gotta take care of mom. Plus, my wife just became a first-time mom. So yeah, Mother's Day matters, and you gotta get it right. That's why I'm sending flowers from the Books Company. Right now, get 25% off with code CANTY. Books flowers are cut fresh, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last way longer. And it's easy. Pick the bouquet, the delivery date, and you're done. Mother's Day is May 10th, so don't wait. Go to Books.com, use code CANTY to get 25% off. That's BOUQS.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Duration, Woodscapes, and Super Deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Morning, buddy.
Morning, Michael.
How we doing?
I don't know. Feels like we're just spending so much time together these days.
I know. Yeah, a little late night session.
A little late night last night.
Yeah, late night. Me and Brock hanging out last night, talking to Kirk Cousins. We did that on video, so we'll run the first part of that at 8:30 this morning. We went long with Kirk. It was great. We've been talking about him for so long. It was a little surreal to talk to him. Like, we did the Phillip Rivers interview a few weeks ago, and, we talked about Phillip Rivers over the years, but not, a lot.
No.
He played the Seahawks a couple times.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Beat the Seahawks, I think, a couple times.
Yeah, but, he'd come up around the NFL. Or, it's not like we never talked about him. But Kirk Cousins, I'm trying to think of which quarterbacks, other than the quarterbacks that have been here in Seattle, which quarterbacks have we talked about the most? If you went back and had a counter for every mention of that.
It started with Tim Tebow for different reasons. Started with Tim Tebow.
Aaron Rodgers.
Probably Peyton and his HGH that got delivered right to Ashley.
Aaron
and all
Rodgers
that fun.
be on the list.
Probably A-Rod.
Times he played the Seahawks. Cam Newton would be way up there.
Way up there.
Number of times that he played the Seahawks.
Way up there, yeah.
But I don't think you'd get through 5 or 6 without Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Drafted with Russ, same class, went in the 4th round. Those guys from Michigan State who were so mad about it and, torching Russ for not being better than Kirk, and how the draft was awful because Russ went ahead of Kirk, and then, playing the Seahawks all those times. The
primetime games, multiple primetime games.
He beat them, right, with that crazy throw, right? Wasn't that Kirk who beat them with the crazy throw when he was in Minnesota?
I think Seattle beat him a lot more than he beat Seattle, but yes. And then Atlanta the last couple years, you just can't escape him.
And we've also talked the business of sports with him too, right? All the years, the 3 years in a row that he took the franchise tag. So we talked about a lot of that stuff. And he's played the Seahawks each of the last 2 years with Atlanta. They had sort of a weird quirk in the schedule where they played twice in a row. So we got to see, he saw Mike McDonald year 1 and Super Bowl winning Mike McDonald's team year 2. Yep. So a really cool conversation with Kirk Cousins.
And tell the people, tell the family first, and then tell the audience. I thought Salk had the burps last night. I thought maybe this is a pre-dinner, maybe it was post-dinner. I didn't know. Gertie's barking every once in a while in the background.
Did you hear Gertie?
Yeah. What does you say? Heather kind of covers her mouth.
She does when she laughs.
Right, when she laughs, and all of a sudden I'm looking at Salk periodically. He's covering his mouth.
We have to cover the mouth.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the people?
It's Howdy's fault.
It's Boy Howdy's fault?
Totally Howdy's fault.
What did he do?
Well,
Some fruit?
I don't know whether that was public. He must have said that on the show, right?
For sure, he did. Yeah.
Howdy back in the day had a theory that Kirk Cousins looked like and acted like a homeschooled Tom Brady. And I don't even entirely know what it means, except that it's very funny, right? That was a true Howdyism. A homeschooled Tom Brady.
Yep.
And at some point,
he had mentioned Tom Brady. He had mentioned crossing paths with the Raiders, because we talked a little bit about Clint Kubiak and the Raiders, and I think he mentioned intersecting with Tom Brady, and then he really
I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I was laughing, and I was trying not to, but I was laughing about it, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I almost asked him about it. It almost got to that point.
Did you really?
We almost got that comfortable after he mentioned
No, we
Tom
did
Brady.
not.
Yeah,
we never got that comfortable.
Oh, so we got that
Keep it
comfortable.
secret. I mean, you could have probably mentioned it. He laughs about the whole everyone saying it looks like he uses his Kohl's cash to buy his clothes.
Oh, yeah. Great clips, Kohl's, all that good
I
stuff.
couldn't do that, but
I
it
could.
did make me start laughing at some point, and I did legitimately have to hold my mouth because I didn't want to just be like, "Why are you laughing?" Oh, I'm just thinking about our old producer calling you homeschool Tom Brady. Anyway, if you watch it on YouTube, you will see me cover my mouth a couple times and try not to laugh. Speaking of YouTube, apparently our YouTube stream is down. I don't know what's going on. If you want to watch the show on video, you can do so through the Seattle Sports app. That is working. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not
Our website is working as well. I see someone moving things around on the computer back here.
They're
so
working,
we're working
on
it.
They're working on it, Brock, much like the Mariners.
Yes.
They're working on it. And I think that the Mariners listened to you. I feel like you got it right yesterday. I
just felt like after all this time and maybe coming back from Italy and all the good vibes and all the grazie and prego and everything and all the complaining we were doing, and it was worthy of complaining because it gets swept and the offense is struggling. But ultimately, let's be about solutions. Let's be about answers. Let's not just be about whining and complaining and just Downerville. It's a long season. So what are the solutions? How do we get back?
Well, your solution worked. Your solution was pitch better. That's what you're
good
at.
They are. Mike, that's who they are. You say this all the time. Kirk Cousins actually said it about identity and how many teams in the NFL just never get it. And they chase all the new thing and they chase the new wrinkles and they chase the new plays, but they never have a core identity. The Mariners do. The Mariners' core identity is not Cal Raleigh hitting 60 home runs. It's not Julio Rodriguez being the 30-30 guy. The core identity of this organization is pitching, pitching, pitching. It's who they've drafted. It's who they've developed. It's who their homegrown talent is. They'll supplement in other places. They'll trade for other pieces. But the foundation of their identity is their pitching, their starting pitching in particular. And Brian Wu, it was a playoff Brian Wu yesterday. I felt like a playoff kind of every pitch, every inning, how I'm going to attack. And I think he even said it afterwards, right? What did you do? I kind of got back to the basics and simplified things and stopped trying to get too cute and get back to who I am. And who he was 6 innings of one-hit shutout baseball yesterday to win a heck of a series against arguably one of the best teams in all of baseball.
Yeah, they needed that. And I think you got it absolutely right. You know what they did, and what I've been talking about as well, they controlled what they can control. They did it well. They played a reasonably clean game yesterday, right? They caught the Braves napping on the pickoff in the 8th inning, which may have saved the game, and they pitched. Those are all things that are totally within your control. And yes, they got a home run from Julio, which was a big, big deal. One of their top players helping them out. I realized that I think that means 9 of the 10 runs they scored in that series came via the home run. 9 of 10. Outside of the Cole Young RBI, which was the last run yesterday, every other run they scored.
They scored their first run yesterday.
Wasn't it a 2-run home run from Julio?
No, his was a solo jack. It was 1-0, and I think he made it 2-0.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, well, so it's 8 of 10 then.
Yep.
But I mean, just amazing how sitting here wondering, okay, how are you going to get through the 8th and 9th? Obviously, Bizzardo was going to play a role. Did you have Ferrer going 3 days in a row on your bingo card? I didn't, but I kind of like this from Dan.
He wanted the ball if it was a save situation, and that's what we were trying to get to. And since it was, it was kind of right in his wheelhouse, too, with a couple of lefties to start the inning. And it was just a great matchup. You got to love that. He wanted it, and he was able to get it, and he went out there and did the job.
He's been a lot better, too, this last month.
Yeah, he's starting to figure it out.
Yeah, I think sometimes we take for granted, you just, plug and play. Trade for him. He's got his stuff. He throws his pitches. He's got plus stuff, and he's just going to come in here and be nails. No, they're human beings. He's in Seattle. He's in a new environment. He's got new teammates. He's got new things asked of him, and maybe that first month the first half was a little bumpy, but the last 2-3 weeks, dude's been good. In this series, he was absolutely nails.
Maura, can I ask you a question?
Oh, no.
I don't like the way you're doing that.
Yes.
I feel like it's going to be offensive.
It's not going to be offensive.
Is this about me?
It's not about you.
Oh, great.
So I loved Maura had a great idea yesterday. Yeah, on her email.
Oh, yeah.
Things that are less confusing or more unexplainable than the 2026 Mariners. Essentially, things that are the Mariners are so complicated. They are more complicated than this list of things.
Was this a glass of wine deep last night?
Well, I have a different
drink during the week.
Was this on a walk with the dog?
Was
this on a
jog?
jog?
Did you get help from AI on this?
I did some searches. Yeah. Why?
I'm just curious because it was a fascinating list. And some of them seem like things that I would associate with you. And some of them were like, man, I don't know that I would have expected Mora to go there. Just knowing you over the last few years, I wondered if there was some AI involved.
Are you using chat?
Did you use ChatGPT,
I
Mora?
just Googled mysteries and.
Is this ChatGPT, Mora?
Okay, that makes sense. I was just curious whether or not you were going ChatGPT. I wasn't gonna Barstool to Angie Mentink you about it. I think it's a totally.
I have no problem using ChatGPT.
Right? No, exactly.
I just Googled.
I was just curious. My other and I added to the list this morning. I'm curious of the now 12 things on this list. How many of them Lyle has heard of?
Oh no!
I can't wait to get into this because I'm curious how many. No, don't look yet, Lyle.
I
also was wondering, Lyle,
don't look.
Could you add to this list before 9 o'clock? Things less confusing than the 2026 Mariners. So essentially what you're looking for are things that are great mysteries of the world and saying the Mariners are even more confusing than that. Could you add 3 to 5, and we'll give you 2 hours to do this by 9 o'clock. Could you add 3 to 5 great mysteries, things about the world that are fascinating?
I used Google to help me come up with some of them, but I knew what all of them were.
Right. Okay. So just as a, I'll give you one of Morris just so you know what we're talking about. I was going to say doing your taxes, right? Incredibly complex. Nobody really knows how to do your taxes. That's why you get an accountant. Lyle, I'm sure you've never filed taxes, so I'm not that worried about you understanding this one.
You can't say something like that. I use TurboTax.
Okay.
You're going to get the IRS after you.
All right. So that is like an example of something very complicated, and the Mariners are even more complicated than doing their taxes. You get the bit? Come up with 3 to 5 before 9 o'clock, and I can't wait to see where this goes. We'll be back with everything you need to know next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. I know more than 4,000 people just in our area here have trusted Eastside Weight Loss Clinic because it's a safe way to lose weight. It really is. I'm on that list. Worked really well for me. I know we've heard from other listeners and people in the building. We've advertisers even here who've gone on the program. You know what they have in common? They all lose weight. Yeah, 20, 30, even more pounds in less than 8 weeks. That's what I did. Lost 35 pounds, lost 10 just in the first week. And you do it by eating healthy, fresh, real food that you buy at the grocery store. No fake box meals and no costly recurring monthly payments for injections or pills and then reading about scary side effects. There's none of that. It's a doctor-developed plan. It's safe. It works. It's very simple and easy. 15 minutes, you might spend that long sitting in traffic today, right? Why not instead schedule a consultation at eastsideweightlossklinic.com? Because the only thing you got to lose is the weight itself. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Get down with Casey and the Sunshine Band when they take the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Sunday, May 17th at 8 p.m. The iconic 70s group has toured around the world, and now they're bringing their blend of funk, disco, and R&B to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on May 17th. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like HopeLink, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Sea Star all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Are you an HVAC professional in Western Washington? UA Local 32 offers industry-leading pay, advanced training at a state-of-the-art facility, and retirement benefits you can count on. For 135 years, they've had your back. Start building your future at UALocal32.com.
Mariners and White Sox tomorrow afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss. For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeService.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, baseball is such a strange game, man. You get swept by the Royals, right? Then you turn around and beat an Atlanta team that literally hadn't lost a series all year. But that's exactly how this game goes, and they got it done with a rubber match yesterday.
You know, excellent series. Great way to end it today. I thought it was just a great ball game up and down. Brian Wu really bounced back today. You know, we talked about it before the game, but this was a great job by him. And I thought, you know, going out there in the 6th inning, you know, 85 pitches I think he was at, hoping he'd get through it, and boy, did he nailed it. And that was really big. It set us up, you know, for the bullpen later in that ball game. And Chris and Zardo and then Ferrer, you know, just continued to do what they do, which was phenomenal. And, you know, Ferrer today 3 in a row. But really wanted to get in there and get that save, and that's impressive. He wanted the ball, and just a great job by him today.
Chris, huh?
How about Zardo?
Zardo, Chris.
Yeah, I think you'd like all that, right?
Yes.
I felt like it was going to be right up your alley. I knew you would enjoy that.
You knew I'd like that, so you played it for me. Yeah,
Brian Wu, though, got to give him a ton of credit. You said, Brock, they needed to pitch yesterday. That's exactly what they did. And as always, after almost any start of significance, Wu does not talk as much about the physical. It's almost always the mental.
Just try to simplify things, honestly. Feels like the last two starts just try to do too much, think too much, diving into scouting reports maybe too much, just like thinking too much, honestly. I feel like just my best brand of baseball is do my homework before and talk to catchers and whatnot, but like when it's time to go on the mound, just go compete. And I feel like I kind of got away from that in the last two starts.
You know what that's called, Salky? Right here. Clear the mechanism.
It's called clearing the mechanism?
Clear the mechanism.
Okay.
Yes. Clear your mind.
Okay.
Just let it rip. As old Mike Heward used to say with the Puyallup Knights and 12 and under baseball, rock and fire.
Okay. So
Come on, Lefty, rock and fire. Rock and fire.
Cleared the mechanism.
Cleared the mechanism.
Okay. Well, I had
never
not
heard
thought
that term before?
No. I've
Seriously?
never heard it. No.
Really?
I believe that it's a
from
real
Gone with the
term.
Wind. It's from Gone with the Wind.
Is it? Or is it from Casablanca? Which, is that Clark Gable? Or is that, yeah, all right.
Humphrey Bogart.
Let's move. Okay, 18-20 now. Just a game out of first place. Day off today. Then they head off to see the White Sox and Astros on the road. Those two clubs, a combined 11 games below 500. Houston just lost Carlos Correa for the rest of the season. And yet, who you play seems to have had very little to do with how you've done this year.
I looked at that Houston box score yesterday. I didn't recognize half the people.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, Alvarez is still in there. But I don't even think Altuve was in the lineup yesterday. I was like, who are these guys? Where did they go?
Things have changed.
Sure have.
Things have very much changed in Houston.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Rehab starts yesterday. Bryce Miller in Everett. Brendan Donovan was supposed to be in Arkansas, but they got rained out. They've been having all kinds of weather down there. So no Brendan Donovan news for you. Still hoping he will join the team in Chicago. As for Miller, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs. Got up to 61 pitches, through 38 of them for strikes. The fastball was right in range, 95 to 98, kind of everything that you would want from Bryce Miller, other than a couple of walks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the pitch efficiency maybe wasn't as clean as the previous outing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved his quote afterwards. He was like, yeah, they're just kind of swinging early. I felt like George Kirby out there, right? Just those guys trying to be in attack mode on his stuff. Can you imagine a high single-A player like, oh, here comes Bryce Miller. That's different than what I normally
Yeah,
normally
there's a little
see.
bit better command there. Yeah,
it's pretty.
I think they love that, though, don't you?
Oh, for sure.
Like, oh, how cool is this? Who are you facing?
Both sides do. Yeah, both sides do. Your teammates love it, having you there, and what a big leaguer looks like.
Absolutely.
And on the other side, you get to see what a big leaguer feels like in the batter's box, too. So what now? Some of the Mariners brass was up there watching it. I think some of the staff stuck around, and
we don't know what. I mean, we're still waiting. We talked to Passan earlier this week, and, he gave us some thoughts.
I think that they are looking at this like it's a first world problem and that they will handle it at the appropriate time, that coming out beforehand and telegraphing or suggesting what they're going to do has a chance to potentially anger people, hurt feelings.
Sorry, what's Jeff Passan?
Jump in there, Brock.
I don't care about that. What does Jeff want? What does Salk want? You hold my feet to the fire during the football season with the injury reports, and I nail it more times than not.
Still don't have to make a decision on this. Still waiting on an actual decision.
We're still a little more delicate.
We're still going to wait. Still in wait and see mode here.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Hey, I thought you might like this sound from Brian Baldinger. He was going through a list of rookies in the best position to succeed. And guess who he started his list with?
Derick Price. I mean, Seattle returns the entire offense intact, except for the Super Bowl MVP. And when you watch Derick Price, first of all, he has less than 300 total touches in 3 years at Notre Dame. Very little tread out the Tiger. But I'll just throw a stat at you last year that amazes me. He scored a touchdown last year for Notre Dame. Once every 9 times he touched the ball. And some of them like this, against Arkansas. He ran through the entire defense, 52 yards for that touchdown on a little swing pass. The guy has like he's got a chance to come in there, especially with the injury to Zach Charbonnet, come in and start and play right away.
On a swing pass, I thought he couldn't catch, Brock. What happened?
Yeah, he didn't get a lot of those. 15 in his entire career in Notre Dame. Hard to argue against that. Table is set, system is set, identity is built. Yeah, first-time play caller. That's going to be worth watching, and I'm going to probably be watching that as closely as anything. But everything else is there. Tight ends are there. All 13 linemen return. Plus, you drafted somebody.
Pretty good.
Pretty
good situation. Pretty set up to succeed. All right, there you go. That is everything you need to know. Quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right. Clear the mechanisms for the love of the game. I've never seen For the Love of the Game.
You never did
No.
You? It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought so.
We got about a million texts about it. Like, I can't even tell you how many texts we got about the fact that it's from For the Love of the Game.
Yep.
I had like kind of an anti-Kevin Costner thing going for a while.
I was a little surprised you hadn't seen that movie.
I have a weird relationship with Kevin Costner. He's in a couple of my favorite movies, Bull Durham specifically, and JFK. Even more JFK is like all-timer for me. Yeah. By the way, Lyle, that could be on your list. Like JFK conspiracy theories, like less complicated than trying to figure out the Mariners this year. But I also don't like him in a lot of things. So maybe I stayed away from For the Love of the Game for that reason. Maybe I should watch it. I'm not saying I shouldn't have.
Yeah,
I'm willing to watch something like that. I've kind of changed my tune on Costner over the years.
You've softened. A lot of your views have softened.
It's true. Getting old, getting soft as I get older. All right. Well, then I'll tell you what. You want to go soft? We'll go soft next. I've got the softest take of all time. It's coming up. I'm Brock and Salk.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates. Exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Highlights don't win games. The full box score does. I'm Brock Hewitt, and most business leaders aren't short on data. They're short on clarity. Numbers are scattered across ERPs, CRMs, and spreadsheets, making decisions reactive instead of confident. And that's not how great businesses are built. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view, even if it lives in disconnected systems or offline, so you can see what's really happening and act faster. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to see what Marquee IQ can do.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community, not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Mother's Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a chance to celebrate the women who shape our lives. The moms, the grandmas, the stepmoms, the ones who stepped in, and the ones who never stopped showing up. At Klein Jewelers, we believe every mom deserves something special, just as special as she is. Because mom deserves jewelry that lasts. Klein Jewelers is here to help you pick the perfect gift for all the mother figures in your life. From our family to yours, happy Mother's Day.
Harry Douglas here. Let me ask you something. What if you can enjoy the taste of a cocktail, the warmth of a spirit, and still stay fully in control? That's RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category. RK delivers bold flavor and a real warming sensation with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and 0 calories. Perfect for nights out, social gatherings, or anytime you want the experience of a drink without sacrificing tomorrow. Check it out at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, all the flavor, none of the alcohol. Harry Douglas here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to go big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with, Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation, they're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I also really liked Costner. I kind of like old man Costner. I really liked him in Molly's Game as the dad. I thought he was great. Did you like Molly's Game? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
so good. Jessica Chastain is like Molly Bloom, the poker person. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Oh, my God, it's so good. Anyway, Costner's great in it at the end. And so, all right, maybe I should change my tune on Costner. Maybe I'm coming around. Brock, I told you I'd give you a soft take as I'm getting softer with my old age.
Soft.
And maybe this is, because yesterday felt a little negative Nancy, right, with things kind of going wrong with the Mariners and kind of gearing up for Game 3 of the series. Remember, we had somebody texted in the show yesterday, said they'd already lost the series. It was like, well, they have to play Game 3 first. Like, you got to let them actually, play these games out. And then they went out and won that game and beat a left-handed starter and got what they needed from Julio and got what they needed from Brian Wu. And so it was kind of a big positive day. And so I thought maybe today we could just go through some of the best things that have happened so far in this Mariner season. This is not to say that all of the other things haven't happened. There have been a lot of real frustrating moments.
18 and 20.
I totally agree. There's a lot to be frustrated by so far this year. I am not passing over any of that, and we've spent a lot of time on it. But I thought maybe, we could just talk for a few minutes about some of the positive stories. So I came up with what I think are the 3 best Mariners stories so far, okay? Mm-hmm. Number 1, Cole Young. Cole Young is the best part of the season so far, isn't he? What he's done, turning himself into not just a real big leaguer, but potentially like a long-term starting second baseman, that's something you've been kind of looking for forever. right? When was the last, other than since Robbie Cano, you haven't had a regular second baseman. I believe every single season since Robbie left, they've had a different starting second baseman. And before Robbie, you'd have to go back probably to Brett Boone for a guy that really started here long-term at that position. I know you had the little indentation out there when Jose Lopez was out there, and he weighed too much to play second base, and so there was a little depression in the dirt. But Cole Young, as of today, is leading the team in WAR, B-WAR anyway, at 1.7. He's got an OPS of 745, which for a second baseman is tremendous. He's flashed a little bit of power, 3 home runs for a 22-year-old, which is great. He's done what you want him to do. He's second on the team in runs scored, so he's scoring runs. Why? Because he's getting on base, because he's second on the team in hits. You just start running up all of these numbers. Cole Young has been the best part of the season so far, right?
I would think so. I would think it's hard. Emerson Hancock's going to have a conversation. I think it's those two very clearly in that race, and you'll probably get to him in a second. My buddy Luke Arkins, I reached out to him last night in just kind of, another area of this team, the runners in scoring position, right? Just that situational ball that we talk a lot about. And as a team, Salk, collectively, not good. 26th in all of baseball at 676 OPS. Who's number 1 on the team? So the team is averaging 676 OPS with runners in scoring position. That's, as I said, 26.
I'd be almost positive it's Cole Young.
You going to bet the mortgage?
No, but I would certainly assume. Is it not?
Oh, you can't do that anymore. You lost all that with the Honolulu Blue going into Green Bay.
Is it not?
It is Cole Young.
Yeah.
He's over 1,084. 1,084 OPS with runners in scoring position, over 400 points better than the average of this team.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep.
And Dan spoke about him yesterday and kind of what he's doing to have the success that he is.
He puts together some really tough at-bats, and, that was a big moment in the game. We really, you wanted that add-on run there going into the ninth, and especially with Olsen leading off, and he's hurt us. Not only was it a great base hit, but he did a nice job getting it down the line and making sure that Nails was going to score pretty easily. So that just, like we've talked about before, for a young player to have that kind of a slower motor and to not let those kind of moments, get away from him. He's done an outstanding job with runners in scoring position.
I think that's what, Salk? I like that phrase.
Slower motor?
Yeah.
I do too. Slower motor.
I think it fits very well.
Guess what?
What?
Amazingly, a young left-handed hitter could actually hit left-handed pitching.
I don't think anyone's ever said that's not the case.
He doesn't have to be a platoon guy. He can actually hit left. Do you think some of that's because, honestly, I'm a little facetious there, but do you think some of that's because he has kind of an open stance?
No, I just think.
You don't think so?
No one is saying all lefties can't hit lefties. It's guys like Luke Raley that have proven they can't hit lefties. They can't hit lefties. J.P. Crawford can hit lefties. Josh Naylor can hit lefties.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, you let good hitters hit lefties.
Yep.
It's just that guys that are clear platoon players shouldn't be allowed to hit lefties in big spots.
But also, so we knew coming in they weren't going to be able to hit lefties this year.
Right. As for Cole Young, we'll see. So far it's going really, really well. And he is the type of hitter, yes, in that he's not just a huge, swing from the heels power guy that tend to have a little bit more success left on left. So that has been an awesome part of it. But please don't make it seem like I think all lefties can't hit lefties. Plenty of them
I'm not
can.
making you seem that, but I think there is this big trend towards that.
It's not a trend.
I love that a left-handed hitter can hit lefties.
I would say that's not a trend.
I don't know. I mean, Brendan Donovan, you don't love against lefties. Naylor against tough lefties. He's out of the lineup. You have Dom Canzone. You have Luke Raley.
I get it, but that's not a trend. I mean, that's decades old. I mean, many, many decades. Lefties have had trouble hitting lefties since we were kids.
Have they?
Yeah.
Was that a conversation when we were kids?
Yes. It's been a conversation forever. What?
I don't remember it when we were kids.
Okay, well, maybe you weren't paying rapt attention. But
to be fair, maybe this is an outlier. Yordan Alvarez has a 1025 OPS against lefties.
Isn't that incredible?
He's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, when you get a guy like that, You got to bring in. What you really got to do is bring in Robbie Ray, obviously, in order to see if you can get that done.
Soft takes. Soft takes.
Oh yeah, sorry. We are doing. These are soft takes. We're not doing hard
takes. Who did that
takes.
soft take? Didn't we have a drop?
Soft takes?
Yeah.
You mean like these?
Soft takes.
Colleen O'Brien doing soft takes. Yeah.
Soft takes.
Yeah. We do have some soft takes.
Soft takes.
Oh, wow. That one has quite the, yeah.
Can we play those? After
I don't think so.
Rossini stuff? I don't know if we should.
You think that that's too, they're inappropriate? I don't think so. All right. So Cole Young, I think for me, number one story of the year so far. Number two, yeah, it's probably what you said. It's probably the emergence of another starting pitcher. In this case, Emerson Hancock. He's been phenomenal. Like I don't know what else to say. He's been a lifesaver. If he hadn't pitched like this year, I think you'd be in some real trouble. I mean, again, he's just been.
I think he'd be 4
awesome.
or 5 games under 500.
I mean, he's 2-1 in his starts. I know that we're not like all big on win-loss record as a starter anymore for good reason, but it is worth noting that they are 2-1 if you're talking about where they would be without him. And one of those and probably should be 3-1 based on the dominant outing he had the last time out. Yeah, he's shown something that I don't think anybody thought he had. I'm not even sure they realized he had it at this point. Right. I don't know that they were still of the belief that Emerson Hancock was, about to turn back into this. He'd been unbelievable. This is a guy that has.
If Bryce had not gotten hurt, he'd be a AAA.
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. Of course he would be. Yes. He didn't have a chance of making this team other than injury. And yeah, sometimes you need a little fortuitous something in order to go your way and discover what it's been awesome. It's been hugely important.
And a guy that, and we say that Logan is the best dude on this team and the most likable and the nicest guy. I mean, Emerson is right there with him. He is just as quality. He has never complained. He's never whined. He's never moaned about lack of opportunity. He's never been a diva as a first-round pick. He just went to work and he went in the lab. And while the velocity went up a season ago, he didn't have a lot of swing and miss. He didn't have an out pitch. And now this sweeper that he goes in the lab and he cultivates and he works on all off season is freaking nasty.
I don't know how
it's taken him from good to great in his first half a dozen starts.
Yes, ERA is another one of those stats that we don't look at quite the same way anymore, but certainly ERA plus balances it for your park and for the league. This is another one of these stats where 100 is league average, anything over 100 is better than average, anything below 100 is below average. He leads the team in ERA plus. Well, certainly the starting rotation. He leads the starting rotation. His ERA plus is 154, meaning he's 54% better than an average starter. That is number one on this team. He's the only starting pitcher with a whip below 1. He is really dominated. The one problem, he's given up 7 home runs. Other than that, the walks, he's only given up 6 walks. He's walked half as many guys as George Kirby. Think about that for a moment.
Oh, he's top 10 in the league in walks per 9.
God, it's just been incredible. And strikeout to walk rate, he leads baseball. How about that?
Well, 14-0 the last time out kind of helps. In that.
Yeah, yes, it does. I mean, leads starting pitchers because you got to qualify for that. Obviously, you're going to get relievers that are in just a crazy category, I think. But yes,
isn't that right, Lyle?
Over almost over 7.5 strikeout
like behind
to
the scenes. Isn't he about as good a dude as there is in baseball?
100%.
Yeah.
Like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Oh, and you weren't here last week. He joined us. He was on the show last week. He was awesome. What? Yeah. What? He was with us last week. Where were you?
When I was in Italy?
Yeah, you were in Italy.
Really?
We were talking to Emerson Hancock. Yeah, you missed it. Sorry about that. So he would be number 2. Number 3, I have 2 choices for number 3. This
is for what, soft takes?
These are soft takes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, this is just, best Mariner stories of the year. And yes.
Soft takes.
Thank you, Colleen. I miss Colleen.
Soft takes.
Definitely a Colleen fan. She and I were buddies. Not talking sports, but with everything else. Big fan of Colleen.
Soft takes.
There we go. I think it's a tie, Brock, between George Kirby and Edward Bizzardo. We went through all of that with Hancock. You could make a pretty compelling argument, though, that George Kirby has been the best pitcher on the staff. He is the guy that actually leads the team in ERA. He's actually just ahead of him in the ERA, but in WAR, 1.3, because he's done all of that while pitching more innings, right? So he's just been pretty incredible this year. The ERA plus 136, so he's also been significantly better than average. Obviously, he just has been, I think, really good at it's not the strikeouts this year, but no hard contact. He's really eliminated that. He's only given up 4 home runs this year, which is incredible. And he's, every time you've needed him, just been as steady a presence as you're going to get. I got to put George Kirby up there, and I just continue to find myself impressed with Bizzardo. Maybe yesterday kind of gave up a run, okay, fine, but I just find myself so impressed with the improvements he's made. He's a 30-year-old pitcher, so this has come on pretty late in the career, but that two-seamer is so fun to watch. And when he combines it with the slider, those two would be sort of 3 and 4 on my list of best stories of the year.
Yeah, and just the availability and the durability, right? When you watch the rest and just the nature of the arm, it's the nature of bullpens, it's the nature of year in and year out. It's one of the most fickle things to try to project in all of sport. And, a guy followed up a season ago to be your most reliable guy in the pen right now. That you feel really, really good about. Ferrer, the last 3 weeks, is probably starting to enter the conversation, too.
He's been really good.
And I do love what you played earlier, that he wanted this. That's cool. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want guys to come in and maybe find their footing a little bit, and where do I fit in this thing? And but ultimately, if Mooney's down, give me the ball. I want to save this thing. I want to close this thing out, as he did yesterday.
Years and years ago, God, well, I got to remember the guy's name. It was before I'd ever been to Seattle. I was covering the Red Sox, but the Mariners came to town, and I was talking to
Bobby Ayala.
No, it was a righty who had absolutely wipeout slider stuff in about 2006, 7 area.
Jeff Nelson.
No, I'll think of the name. I mean, Lyle will probably figure it out here in just a moment. But I remember talking to other member who.
You don't mean JJ Putz, do you?
No, it wasn't Putz, but it was on those same teams. And he was the setup guy when Putz was closing. And I remember thinking he was awesome, and then talking to some of the guys on that team, and they were like, that guy? Yeah, he's got good stuff. He never shows up. He's always hurt. Won't go into the game. Won't take the ball. Hate him. Whoa. They were just absolutely torching the guy.
Well, wow. I mean, a guy that went on to have a pretty good career post Mariners, Rafael Soriano.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Rafael Soriano. Thank you. I always confused him with Aquilino Lopez, who was around the same time. Both guys had pretty wipeout stuff from the right side. But they were just like, this guy won't take the ball. Doesn't post. Can't stand him. I got to go out there and pitch 4 days in a row because this dude won't post. So seeing that story about Ferrer yesterday, I did think that was meaningful, seeing him go out there for a third straight and get it done. So there you go. Just some happy Mariner stories a day after a win. And yes, maybe you could even call them some
soft takes.
We'll go from there to Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Nothing soft about Blue 88. Only tough football answers here, Brock. So we're going to play the Kirk Cousins interview coming up here at 8:30. It was great to talk to him yesterday. I really did enjoy it. And he brought up an old conversation that we've had for a long time. What'd you hear?
Yeah, he started to talk about the safeties within the Seahawks defense and how hard it is to play them pre-snap, post-snap, into the snap because of the creativity, the Kobe Bryant and Julian Love and those guys, and actually spurred you, Salk. You were like, well, hold on a second. Brock's talked about artists versus blacksmiths an awful lot when it comes to quarterbacking. Are you, Kirk, kind of making that same analogy or comparison to safeties? And he's like, yeah, I guess I am. And then he went further. You football folks will love some of this depth of some of the conversation we get into with Kirk, because then he went further to talk about the great all-pro safety he played with there in Minnesota, Harrison Smith. And he'd say to Harrison, listen, you don't know how much it blows a QB's wires when you don't get to your landmark, right? When you're in cover 2 and you got your landmark, or you're in quarters, or you're, single safety, or all these curl flat, all your different landmarks, right, that you spot drop to in zone. You know, when you don't get there as a quarterback, it kind of blows my wires. And then he turned around and said, Kirk, you know what? If I don't get to my landmark, I screw everybody around me. Like, the defense is built on that discipline, and we hear that all the time, right? Hey, man, don't go outside of your lane. Do your job so everybody else can do their job collectively. But there is some artistry. And you know where my mind went to? Two guys that I played against in my era, or that I watched play from the sidelines. But I watched Peyton even struggle with one of them. And then Kitna, another guy, like just a nemesis the other. Who were the two safeties that were the most artistic safeties? Yep.
And Ed Reed.
There you go. Both Hall of Famers. Nailed it, Saul.
Nailed it.
You nailed it.
And just for that, I give a Lawyer Malloy fist bump.
Yeah, you do.
For another great safety.
But those guys were the same thing. And it would it'd be like, don't do that. That's not right. You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but I am, because of my instincts, because of the freedom that I get within this scheme and system, and that maybe I have freedom and others cover for me, and that give and take. And I think the Seahawks are a beautiful example of that, and you'll hear Kirk go into great depth in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's coming up at 8:30. Question number 2. We've talked a lot about multi-sport athletes over the years, Brock. Sam Darnold fit into that category?
He did, and I think this was a revelation. This was your aha moment. And I don't remember when it was and which Mike McDonald show it was and when the conversation was either on or off the air.
With Joel McHale.
No, that one I
okay.
know.
Sorry,
yep, no, I got that. Nope. This Sam Mora found,
this was
and
for
she
me.
dug it up.
Yeah.
But this was you. You had the same aha moment when McDonald shared something similar to you about Sam Darnold. It kind of clicked for you because you stopped evaluating him as like this Tom Brady patient quarterback.
Yep.
And you started to look at him as a football player. And then to Maura's point, this was McDonald on with Joel McHale on Sirius Radio, taking it even a step further with Sammy.
I didn't know him personally, like coming into the whole process of acquiring him, but like, you know, Clint was here last year. He had worked with him. We have several guys that were on the staff at USC that knew him, and like to a man, they just said like, one, great teammate, but he's a former linebacker, so you know, I like that. But how he goes about his business, it's not like a quarterback, he's a ball player, you know, and the guys respect that about how he goes about his business and how he carries himself especially when things don't go right. It's just so steady and has his teammates back, you know, like all those like little things that happen on like a day-to-day, those little conversations, how you carry yourself in the locker room. I mean, we all know like the talent out there, but those are the things that make like quarterbacks special.
My favorite moment of Titus's season last year, honestly, was when he knocked that dude out after the interception.
I mean, for good reason.
It was my favorite. I don't know if there will ever be another moment quite like that one. I mean, that was so endearing to his teammates, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the hardest hit of the whole season of our football team. Actually, our running back had one later in the year on a fumble return, did the same thing.
Probably not a great sign that your two best hits came that way, but okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But that got me to thinking about two guys, Salk. I guess I'm in turn back the clock mode. Kirk Cousins kind of did that as we went into the history mode. Colin Cowherd had some sound a couple weeks ago, and then had some numbers. Do you know whose numbers, outside of the volume of touchdown passes and everything else, do you know who's, because we talked about this off the air. Go look at Sam Darnold's QB rating, completion percentage, touchdown interception. It mirrors almost exactly Brett Favre.
It's crazy.
And Brett Favre played the position with his hair on fire. The second guy, he kind of reminds me of when he said linebacker, and you heard this all the time about Jim Kelly. There's kind of a little Jim
I like that.
Kelly.
I like that comp better. I don't see Favre when I watch him at all. I get that the numbers may be similar, but there's
and the turnovers are there, and
just
that was
doesn't
some of
feel
Colin's
it.
point. But there's kind of a lot of
Jim Kelly's
Kelly,
a
isn't
much
there?
more interesting comp.
Yes. Because even though linebacker too, and played the game in a very similar vein, and then got pretty refined as he got later in that K-gun and everything else and all the success they had.
Pretty interesting. All right, question number 3.
I feel like this has been an interesting little
Yeah, it has been. Brock, what's next for Russell Wilson?
Oh, gosh. Can I hear him?
Sure. This was Russ asked about what he's doing next.
In New York City, the Jets, how did that go with your visit out there?
It's great. They offered me, and I'm trying to figure out what's the next best thing to do and all that. And just, I still know I can play ball, and and do that at a high level. But also, I think that, the opportunity to do TV too is great. So we'll see what happens.
What would it mean to be teammates with Gino again in that kind of opposite role that you guys were in before?
Well, Gino's a great guy, man. We've been great friends, great teammates. But I'm just focused on the day.
And the last thing is, you mentioned the broadcaster. What would that be like for you? You'd be great at it.
There's a lot of great networks and a lot of things, and obviously there's a great opportunity for me. We'll see what happens.
No, we get 10 seconds more.
I just love football.
There's a lot of great networks.
Being in it in every way, staying ready to to play too, and just every day I'm training and getting ready. But also too, I think I have a lot of great opportunities.
There's a lot of great networks, Brock.
Tell me you weren't waiting for him to start naming the networks.
Yeah, I mean, of course you got CBS, you got Fox. I mean, you can also go to NBC, Netflix. Oh my God, there's a lot of great networks, Brock.
Did you see the great Art Teal?
No.
Posting about that news?
I'm not sure that's the word. That's the adjective I'd use, but okay.
I've got to find it. Art Teal did put out somewhere in the social realms about Russell broadcasting. He's like, I covered him for 10 years. I'm still waiting on a good soundbite.
Right.
Like, what? Oh.
That's everything you need to know.
When it goes high pitch, Russ.
You could just tell as soon as that answer started it wasn't
Yes.
going to be good.
When it goes high pitch,
you could just tell immediately it wasn't going to be good. All right. We mentioned the Seattle Sports app earlier. Great spot for video if you want to watch the show. And apparently every once in a while YouTube is down. So you can always just go to the Seattle Sports app. You can also leave us messages for Here's the Thing. You've done that this week, and we'll play them next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends who are pretty awesome, too. Over there, People Come First, PCF Construction Group. And if you have been dreaming of a new deck, you've enjoyed all this sunshine, this little May bliss that we've gotten with the great weather, then you need to call PCF before the summertime and their schedule fills up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round, no matter what the weather throws at you. And for a limited time, this is pretty cool. 50% off your demo costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. People Come First Construction Group for all the details. Reach out to them. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it for years. So start planning and designing your dream deck now, so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction take a little time, so get the process started today. Get your project ideas, browse photos, and see all the offer details, like $5,000 off of your demo costs at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
When you want your grocery run to go further, there's Chef Store. Find food and supplies in sizes that cut down on extra trips and keep kitchens of any size stocked and ready. Open to the public, no membership required. Discover big savings at your local Chef Store today.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like, pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
This baseball season, Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. John Curley here. Get the price of a new heating and AC system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure, no waiting. Just a few questions and you get a winning personalized price. That's a home run. And if your system is over 12 years old, it could be costing you up to 20% more or could soon fail. Score a personalized price for a new system in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC boats are easy to operate and maintain. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC, you have to see it to believe it.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you a minute.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
It's too bad you guys can't come hang out with us between segments. You guys would enjoy it. It's too bad you can't just come hang out during breaks. It's
I'll
fun.
have to say we should sell some of that.
I don't think so. I don't think, what do you always say about confession?
Yeah.
I would
Good
put
for the
this in
soul.
the same category. Yes. Bad for the reputation. Let's see what you guys got for us, and here's the thing.
Brock Ewert doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, let's see what the people have today. Should we start with a song? Another one from Stan and Nancy? Let's see what they've done for us this week.
Here's the thing. This is Stan and Nancy from Victoria. Out of all the Seattle sports radio shows in the morning between 6 and 10, Brock and Salk is in our top 20, maybe even in our top 10.
Oh, wow.
Tomorrow, Brock and Michael Salk can both miles and acquired taste. We thank you for your sports radio talk, for which herewith we state. Here we go. We la 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 la, we la 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 la, we love your show. Brock and Salk, one of the top 9.5 Seattle sports radio shows on weekday morning.
Keep up the great work.
I love them.
I do too.
Was that a compliment? It's so hard to say.
We're 9.5 out of 2. It's not bad.
I think they've heard enough people take shots at us in this segment. They're
Yeah.
like, we need to step up our game.
Did it? It said we were one of the top Like, how many Seattle sports shows between 6 and 10?
9.5.
Is there even another Seattle sports show on between 6 and... Are we the only one?
Salky.
What?
Did they use a synthesizer? Are they a synthesizer?
Are they a synthesizer?
Like, are they a synthesizer group? Do they use the synthesizer? You said there was pre-synth and post-synth.
Well, that's a
right?
Rush thing.
I know.
Well, did you hear any synthesizer there?
I'm asking the music aficionado.
I wouldn't know if I did or didn't.
Exactly.
Here's Josh.
Here's the thing. I made a dumb joke that I don't expect most people to get because no one did get it. Mike Salk might be the only one that actually even understands the joke and may not even think it's funny. But here it is anyway. My now 5-year-old just turned 5 April 1st. She got a little tub of slime at her belated birthday party the other weekend.
That's a big thing.
And it says, "Puppy loves slime." And my immediate reaction was like, oh, this is from the kids' version of Mother Love Bone. No one understood the joke. I felt sad and old, so I'm sure Mike can empathize with me on that one. You know, I don't expect other people to get it. The thought of asking Lyle if he would get the joke actually caused a small earthquake in Arizona under a campus, believe it or not. Anyway, there it is. Thanks, Mike, for understanding music and also knowing who Shakespeare is. Thank you for educating the masses.
Wow, I try.
Later.
I try.
Was it a funny joke?
It wasn't that funny, but you know who Mother Love Bone is, right?
Mm.
There's old Mother Love Bone. Do you know what's important about Mother Love Bone? Do you know who they became?
Stone Temple Pilots.
Pearl Jam. I know you always guess now Stone Temple Pilots for everything. Either that or Alice in Chains. No, they became Pearl Jam. Lead singer Andy Wood died, and he was replaced eventually by Eddie Vedder. They became Pearl Jam.
Yep.
And then they did a tribute to Andy Wood, which was Temple of the Dog. So there you go. It's not that funny, but I do get it. Yeah. Is that a good answer? Not that funny. I'm glad no one laughed, but yes, I get it. Here's Jessica.
Here's the thing, Lyle. You should learn about Les Mis, because the plight of an impoverished single mother living on the streets of 19th century France, whose life was filled with hope and promise before she was abandoned and betrayed by the man she loved, is exactly how Mariners fans feel after this last homestand, more or less. And Les Mis is short for Les Miserables, which is the French word for people who love the Seattle Mariners.
Oh.
Real talk, though, this isn't just the weight of expectations. It is the weight of generational expectations, which is different and much heavier.
Heavy.
That's a good point. I like Jessica.
You following that, Lau?
I don't think I need to watch Les Mis now. If somebody asks me what it is, it's like, oh, it's just a metaphor for the Mariners.
Look at all the time you just saved.
What's the, what did you use in college to cut corners?
Cliff Notes?
I mean,
the Cliff Notes?
Pick your poison.
You call it something else, so not Cliff Notes, Spark Notes.
Well, that...
Jessica just gave you the Spark Notes to Les Mis.
Yeah. Also, it's funny you thought I used that in college only.
You still use it now?
Well, I mean, it probably started in junior high, but...
Jeez, Lyle. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Here's Brett.
Is there a disconnect between Devin Witherspoon and the Seahawks? It seems to me he is asking to be the highest paid or one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the league, but he only has 2 career interceptions, and I'm not sure that those two things align in terms of being the highest paid cornerback in the league.
You think he can be the highest paid corner without picking the ball off too often?
You'd like to see a little more of that. But what he does in coverage, what he does not getting thrown at, what he does as a rusher, that's where it's complicated. It's not the turnovers. It's all the different hats that he's able to wear, the force multiplication.
Right.
That Mike talks about.
If you had asked me this question before the playoffs last year, I think I would have said, yeah, a good point. The Devin Witherspoon we saw in the playoffs was eye-opening. He was so good, and it seemed like all of those criticisms, he just seemed to put them to bed. Now, maybe I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth, because you would say the same thing about Ken Walker, but I don't feel that way, so I understand the argument.
Was it the Rams Thursday night game that he got abused? Yeah.
But then what he did against the Rams in the playoffs, he was so good in the playoffs last year.
I don't think there's a disconnect. Seahawks are willing to pay him a lot of money. I think his agent has got to answer the phone and get the deal done.
Here's
Do you guys know how many interceptions Trent McDuffie has? I mean, he just got paid by the Rams.
6.
Nope.
4.
3.
Close.
Here's the thing. Now that Brock's not on college football games anymore, is he going to become useless at draft time in a few years? Because he won't know any of the players' names? Similar to Tony Romo commentating after a few years. Now Salk will just ask Brock for input. Brock will go, I don't know, Mike, I don't know.
Tim, you can be worried about me for a lot of different things. Most importantly, my ability to get sentelled and misinformed. But no, those relationships don't go away.
I think that's a fair
question.
There
is a little bit of that.
Isn't there?
Titus is going to be there soon enough, and then Brock's going to be
That's
obsessed.
true. That will help.
Mm-hmm.
Not that
I'll
you're
be
not already
obsessed.
kind of obsessed with college football.
I'll be obsessed.
I mean, you don't think that there will be a little bit of Tony Romo there?
Don't
He doesn't run through him. Is it a tick late? Okay. Is this the Apple Cup?
I mean, there's certainly some precedent to suggest that you could turn into a little more of a Tony Romo.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. There's definitely a little bit of precedent.
That's good.
I guess you just speed this up.
Here's Chris.
I've been a Seahawks fan since I was a little boy. Went through the Dave Craig fumble era. Loved Joey Galloway, all the studs. I've been listening to you guys forever. I'm from Southern California, moved up here a few years ago. I just wanted to say I used to always skip the Mariner talk, but I listened to it a lot more. You guys have bought me in. And I just want to say, as a Dodger fan, being from Southern California, I just can really empathize with you guys right now because, you know, my Dodgers are not winning every series and Ohtani's not hitting a home run every game.
You know what? Shut up. I'm turning him off. That's unnecessary. How dare you, Chris, taking shots. Plus, Morris had to speed it up, so we'll go to Brent.
Here's the thing. Did you know that according to 425 magazine, the best Seattle radio personality is one of the dudes from the men's room? I mean, I know Lyle can't feel shame, because otherwise he'd be a different, better person. But the 3 adults on this show should be a little embarrassed.
Not if you look at, ratings. I think that those guys have put up some pretty good ratings over a really, really long time. Not easy to do in rock radio. So, yeah, no shame here.
I'm ashamed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Kudos to the men's room. Those guys do a pretty good job. They're pretty good at what they do. I don't know any of them really either. Don't know those guys.
Mm-hmm. I know they're a target now. Got to get them.
Oh, yeah? Well, I mean, we don't go opposite them. But let's see their digital numbers, huh?
Yeah, let's see those.
How many podcasts are they selling?
Let's see those.
We'll finish with your buddy James in Ireland.
Okay, here's the thing. Absolutely loving Brock's breakdown of Italy and just Europe in general. I am howling. I think we got to get Lyle over to Europe. Bolognese and carbonara. My God, get that man cultured over here. And Mike, I know you're an avid traveller. Happy to reach out and give you my credentials for MLB Network over here, so you can catch the Mariners.
There we go.
It's the same as what you were saying. The pause, the rewind, little inning counter down the bottom. So all yours, my man.
Thanks, James. Always appreciate you, and thank you to everybody for weighing in.
I could just
today.
listen to him say bolognese and carbonara.
That was pretty good.
Lyle, what's the number one destination in Europe for you? Where would you love to go?
There probably isn't one.
So there's not one place.
not
Somebody offered you a
curious about
3 trip to Europe.
I mean, most of those places involve like sightseeing and things like that. I'm kind of good.
There's beaches in Europe too. I went to the beach in Barcelona. It was beautiful.
I mean, like, are we counting Greece? Those beaches seem nice.
Yes, Greece is in Europe.
I mean, I
Santorini
guess.
is amazing.
Why
I've
wouldn't
been.
we be counting Greece?
I don't know. I mean, it's not pressing, but I guess there.
Oh, my God. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you everything you need to know. We're going to pistol whip Lyle or something. And then we will play Kirk Cousins. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports on 710.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hey South Sound, Jermaine Kearse with Pacific Northwest Interiors. Come meet me at the grand opening of Pacific Northwest Interiors featuring CS Floors. May 7th in Tacoma. Check out our website for more information, csfloors.net.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify a key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Hey, Brock Eward here. And pretty cool that my friend John Howie in Sea Star Restaurant celebrated 24 years last month. 24 years as Bellevue's go-to and mine for fresh seasonal seafood, and it is upon us. Oh, there is so much fresh seafood in the house. And what I love is being able to count on my good friend, Chef John Howie's long-standing reputation behind every plate. It doesn't matter whether it's the local pristine oysters, the sushi, the cedar plank salmon, the Dungeness crab. Again, it's all fresh right now. Generous portions with true value plus delicious beverage pairings. The Sea Star team creates a welcoming atmosphere with polished service. It turns great meals into lasting, lifelong memories. And from the first greeting to the final bite, every detail is cared for, and you do feel it. When I'm planning a special dinner with family, friends, and colleagues, and I got a bunch of them this summer with a lot of weddings, it's Sea Star and Sea Star only, because everybody leaves impressed. And right now, pretty amazing deal. 3-course dinners in the lounge every night, starting at just $50. Sea Star, the dining experience you remember. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Dave Wyman here to talk about a revolutionary treatment for prostate cancer. It's Swedish, called CyberKnife. I want to bring in Dr. Meyer, medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center. Dr. Meyer, what makes Swedish CyberKnife so effective?
The CyberKnife allows us to target prostate cancer with better than a millimeter of accuracy. It adjusts for patient motion on the fly in real time, and it avoids giving radiation to other surrounding vital organs. Plus, the treatment can be done in just 5 quick sessions.
I understand it's the most technologically advanced treatment available.
Correct. Plus, the CyberKnife is more affordable, it's less invasive, and has minimal side effects compared to other treatments. Our research shows that after 10 years, more than 90% of patients are free from cancer progression.
To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/CyberKnife-prostate, or just give them a call, 206-320-7187.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Frank Lumber, the door store, has some exciting news. After 6 long years, our Marysville store will be reopening this Memorial Day, May 25th. Our regular hours will be Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But on Monday, Memorial Day, May 25th, we will be celebrating our grand reopening from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by for a hot dog and pop and see the thousands of doors and discounted specials. Visit us this Memorial Day at Frank Lumber in Marysville on Cedar Avenue. We'll see you there.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Gauge Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, it was a really weird homestand. You lose 3 straight to Kansas City, and then things look bad, but you find a way to win 2 out of 3 against the Braves, a team that hadn't lost a single series yet this year. So the Mariners become the first to beat them. Good on them. It was necessary to just kind of get things turned in the right direction. And that was a lot of the talk afterwards, just going and taking and building off of this.
This is definitely a confidence builder, no question. That's a very good team. And we were able to take 2 of 3 from them. But I will still, we've talked about it earlier. We'll talk about it as we go forward. It's not necessarily the other team in the other dugout that we're concerned about or that we worry about. It's more about what we're doing and a little bit more consistent baseball in this series. I thought pitching was outstanding. Defense was good. We had some big at bats and we're able to come up with some big hits. But ultimately, it's about us getting more consistent and especially offensively there in those situations. And, we got work to do, but, we're heading in the right direction.
I'm kind of done with it, by the way. I'm kind of done with this gives us confidence collectively. From a collective, I'm done with that. Because we've heard that about 5 times already this year, coming out, oh, we won this last year. Yeah, feel good going on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like collective confidence in baseball, I don't buy that. Individual confidence, absolutely. Does our little second baseman continue to feel great about himself? Absolutely. Does Chris out in the bullpen feel good about himself? Yes. Did Ferrer put together 3 of his best days as a Mariner? Yes. But does Cal Raleigh leave that series with confidence? No. Right now he's not seeing the ball. He's swinging through the ball. His timing is off. No, I don't think that there is a collective. But individually, there's a bunch of them who delivered and certainly delivered in a big way to win that series.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
We will head out on the road now. Let's see. They go to first Chicago to see Jared Kelenic and the White Sox.
Murakami.
I was more excited about Kelenic. Lyle and I were saying if Kelenic walks off the Mariners in Chicago.
Is he up now? Did he get the call up?
Is it fair to just sort of laugh and not be upset about that game?
Yes.
I think so, too. Like, that's got to make you laugh if it happens. It's not going to happen, but if it does...
you never know.
Do you remember the series? And I know it was on the other side of town in Chicago. Remember that series?
Where you hit that ball 490 feet or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That ball was absolutely crushed. Rehab starts. Bryce Miller was in Everett last night, went 5 innings through 61 pitches, didn't give up a run, but a couple of walks. Fastball was 95 to 98. He was good, maybe not quite great, but very, very good, and obviously getting closer to returning. We did talk to Jeff Passan about it, and look, it's a good problem to have.
I think that they are looking at this like it's a first world problem and that they will handle it at the appropriate time, and that coming out beforehand and telegraphing or suggesting what they're going to do has a chance to potentially anger people, hurt feelings.
What does Jeff Passan want to do?
What does Jeff Passan want to do? It's so crazy. I mean, between Miller and even Kate Anderson, like you're looking at just such a so many pitchers that you would like to get into your rotation, all the while having some issues in your bullpen with depth concerns. Somehow that's got to shake out. Like, they're going to have to make a difficult decision.
Yep.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Seahawks ownership update. Albert Breer had a mailbag yesterday where he said, because it's Seattle, a lot of the same big names are cycled through. From the sounds of it, Clippers owner and ex-Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer might be more likely than Jeff Bezos, but I'm not sure either's a probable bidder. I've heard a few other names as potential buyers, one who's a limited partner in an NBA team. Steve Apostolopoulos is a Canadian billionaire, is one to consider. He bid on the Commanders in 2023. I think I brought up his name a few months ago when this first started. And then there's going to be more as well.
Yeah, I think that Celtics, another owner there is last name Mittal, big Indian steel titan with some other partners involved in it. So we'll stay tuned.
Yeah, Bloomberg, meanwhile, reporting that Samantha Holloway has hired investment banks JP Morgan Chase and Moelis and Company as financial advisors to work on their NBA bid. Again, no real problems expected there. It's everything you need to know.
No, not quite everything.
What else you got?
Turns out that Mike and Diana rented a boat together, huh?
Yeah, we talked about that right before you came on this morning. I mean, it really is a... Don't you feel like he's going to have to resign at some point? Like,
what's going to happen? He's going to resign, or she's going to talk?
I don't know, but this one feels.
What happens first?
This one feels like it's like actually meaningful. Like, okay, so they're out on a boat together, just the two of them that they rented. She's 8 months pregnant with the son, by the way, that she ends up naming Michael. It certainly raises the question of whether or not it's his son. I mean, like, that's already been asked, but obviously it makes it even more of a question. I'm not saying it's true, but certainly you would think it's a question. And then it makes it seem a lot less like not that it was ever a one-off affair, because we already knew that there were all these examples over the years, but it makes it seem like a relationship.
Yeah.
Like, they're out there, that's not, like, they're out there on a boat having what sounds like a romantic time together while she's 8 months pregnant. Yeah, that doesn't feel...
How romantic can it be at 8 months pregnant?
It can be romantic. It can be.
You and Heather were romantic at 8 months pregnant?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I was always romantic. Whether or not Heather felt the same way is obviously up for debate, but I think I was being very romantic. Yeah, I'm a romantic guy, Brock. I think that's how people would describe me. All right, coming up, we had an opportunity last night. Thanks for bringing that up. We had an opportunity last night to sit down for a video conversation that went very long with Kirk Cousins. I really enjoyed it. We've been talking about this guy forever. And we go through kind of where he's at now, but quite a bit about the Seahawks and Mike McDonald and playing against this defense, kind of continuing Brock's great idea of this series of looking at quarterbacks and talking to quarterbacks that played against the Seahawks last year. He's done it a lot, including each year under Mike McDonald. You'll hear from Kirk Cousins next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
You know, just head-scratching moments, just booting ball, just sloppy play.
Are the Mariners really as far down as they appear? Turns out they are. 28 out of 30 in terms of defensive wins above replacement. It's a concern. The numbers say it's a concern. Your eyes say it's a concern. And for a team that's built around pitching, defense, run prevention, you can't give extra out.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Hey, Mike Salk here. I don't know if you've thought about GLP-1 injections for weight loss. You got to ask some questions first, right? Are you ready to spend $3,000 to $5,000 a year and stay on that medication long-term to maintain the results? I don't know. Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and then when you stop taking the medication, then you can regain a lot of the weight. Most people don't know that the research shows a significant portion of the weight that's lost can come from muscle, and that slows your metabolism even more and makes keeping the weight off even harder. It's why I tell you, go to Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. They'll take a totally different approach. Doctor developed. It helps people lose 20, 30 pounds in just 60 days without injections, without synthetic hormones, and without any long-term dependence, because you're using real food to reset your metabolism, control your hunger and cravings, and help your body burn fat, not muscle. You can go to the clinic in Kirkland, or you can do the program from anywhere you live. They've got great remote options. That's how I did it. If you want a safe, affordable alternative to weight loss injections, go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I on a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
When you head to your local Toyota dealer to purchase a new car, ask them this question. Do you offer a lifetime powertrain warranty? If the answer is no, then visit Toyota of Kirkland if you're in the north or Toyota of Renton if you're in the south. Both stores protect your vehicles for life with powertrain warranties on all Toyota models outside of the BZ. Not all Toyota dealers are built the same. Head to toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com and receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on your next Toyota.
Mariners and White Sox tomorrow afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, well, how about this, Brock? Something a little different, an opportunity, and this is a great idea of yours to try to talk to a couple different quarterbacks who had an opportunity to see the Seahawks and to play against this defense last year. And when you say the name Kirk Cousins, it's not just like he played against them last year. I feel like the Seahawks have played against Kirk Cousins like 1,000 times. Last year, the year before, Minnesota, Washington. I mean, this is like almost an old rivalry at this point. So for him to come on and join us is awesome. Kirk, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it. How are you?
I'm doing well. My pleasure. I have played Seattle a lot. I would agree with you. It feels like I've been there a bunch, especially night games in Seattle. I feel like I've been there a ton.
Well, and drafted the same year as Russ. I mean, just like all of it, we got a lot to talk about. Like, I know Brock wants to talk about like just the last year or so under Mike, but I feel like this could go on for a while. So let's start with you. How are you? How is Vegas? How is working now? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm in my hotel room here in Vegas. It's always a big change to start over with a new team, but it's been a good adjustment. I'm enjoying life here. It's a great facility, great setup. My family's not here yet, but they'll be joining me when we get to training camp. So I'm going through all the paces of learning teammates' names and coaches' names and somewhat of a new system and new ways of getting around town and just a lot of new. But it's also exciting and feel good about it.
Are you like at the Bellagio? I mean, like, do they put you up at a Vegas Strip hotel?
I think they keep us away from the Strip as best they can, but we're down in Henderson where the facility is. And but basically every hotel in this state has a casino in it, so it's hard to avoid.
Why Vegas, Kirk? I think you had a lot of choices this offseason. Why was this the fit?
Yeah, I think coaching in this league is such a big deal, as you just mentioned with Mike McDonald and what he's done with the Seahawks. And I just felt really comfortable with Clint Kubiak, with Andrew Janocko, Rick Dennison. Those were coaches I had worked with before who are now with Vegas, and felt like getting around them, there'd be a comfort level there. And that probably was the biggest reason. And I look forward to the challenge of trying to help get this organization, headed in the right direction and to leave it in a better place and be able to then kind of pass the torch. But I look forward to that challenge of kind of getting it back in the right direction where it belongs.
You have friends there? Do you have, other than the coaching staff, do you know some of the other players, teammates?
There hasn't been a lot of carryover. I do think the staff probably more, honestly, age-wise. I mean, I'm going into year 15, so I'm starting to be probably more with a peer of the coaches and the support staff than I am with the players. So that's kind of been an interesting dynamic. But it's been fun to get to know the young guys on the team, and I've really enjoyed their energy and their excitement, and again, just the role I can hopefully play to kind of help get these guys going in the direction they want their careers to go.
What do you think of this guy, Clint Kubiak, and why did Vegas have to steal him from us in Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle knows him well. I had him for 3 years. He was my quarterback coach for 2 in 19 and 20, and then he was my play caller in 21. And I'd probably say objectively it was my best season when he was my play caller in 21. I thought we just had a good rapport, and I've obviously followed him ever since. And I think he just keeps getting better as a coach and a play caller and a leader. And he showed it this past year in Seattle. I thought he did a phenomenal job all through the playoffs and even in the Super Bowl against a really good defense, just staying patient, being diligent, and then having the right play up his sleeve at the right time. So I'm excited for what he's building in Vegas, and I feel that he'll be the biggest reason that we can get this thing turned around.
It's interesting you use the word patient. What does that mean to you as a quarterback talking about a play caller?
Well, I think it's understanding the game you need to play to win. I think in the Super Bowl, they didn't need to score 40 like they may have had to do in the championship game against the Rams. You got to play the game that you're in. And I think in the game they were in the Super Bowl to, kind of stay within yourself, not force anything, not get too impatient, and then to be ready when you do get in the high red zone, to have the play action pass that they had ready to go to dial up to try to put the game on ice. I just think he did a good job of kind of letting the game come to him and then having the right plays, the right answers at the right moments.
Kirk, as Mike said, there is so much history. As I just look at you and we listen to you, I do think through all of these years, and I do want to get to Mike McDonald and why I originally asked you to join us to talk about this defense and what it was like facing them last year. But last thing with Kubiak, what makes from your 15 years in the league, you said you want to go to Vegas to be with him. What makes a great offensive play caller?
Well, you have to have an identity, first of all. Who are you? You can't be all things. You can't be all offenses at once. And so any system is going to have pros and cons, and you have to know these are the pros I want to focus on. And with that, I've got to deal with these negatives that come with that. And so once you have your identity established and you can stick to it, that's, I think, the foundation of a good play caller, a good offensive coordinator. But you'd be surprised how many coaches have a hard time sticking to an identity and staying consistent. They kind of just want to go with the latest fad or the latest play. And while wrinkles are always going to be a part of it and you have to always evolve, I think finding that dance between how do we evolve and change and grow with this game while not losing our identity and who we are as a system. And I think the coaches that can effectively communicate a plan and a system where players have very little gray area and they know what is expected of them, but at the same time there's an evolution taking place, I think those are the really good coaches. And I think Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak are two examples of coaches who seem to have done that very well.
Talking to Kirk Cousins, and that's a perfect lead-in into the conversation regarding Mike, because what he's done defensively seems to be starting to change and evolve the way some of the offenses are functioning and what they're trying to do against a defense like his that maybe is different from what offenses were seen a few years ago. You faced them each of the last 2 years. What'd you see?
Well, I think you see a defense that's well coached. I think you see a defense that plays together. Some of the effort and passion that came from the Pete Carroll system and world, I think that's carried over still in Seattle with Mike McDonald and what he coaches and emphasizes with the effort and attacking and playing together. I also think that they do a great job schematically of, giving the safeties, even the linebackers, the ability to get to the right call. So you may have, 2 or 3 calls as a defense ready to go on any given play, and based on how the offense aligns, based on formation splits or shotgun or whatever, they'll be ready to get to what they feel is the right call in that moment. And so I think giving the players the tools to try to be in optimum calls at any given time in the game is where football has evolved or is evolving, and I think Mike's done a great job with that.
I was listening, Kirk, to a podcast you had joined, I think about a month or a month and a half ago, and you were just talking about that split safety and so much of what they do and your pre-snap to your post-snap and everything that you've been taught fundamentally. And watching my son in high school, right, you're taught, hey, what are the safeties? Single high, two high, your progression reads, your split field reads. I love the complexity you got into there with our audience. Could you kind of share some of that, the challenge when you're under center, all the mechanisms you're going through before the snap, and then you take the snap, and then you got to deal with what?
Yeah, I think it starts certainly with reading coverage, and they make it muddy. Late in the play, it can still look very similar, one coverage to another. And if I know it's going to be single high man, that may dictate that I work a certain place on the field. But if it's a different coverage, quarters, let's say, I may work a totally different place on the field. So if you can make single high man and quarters, which are reasonably different coverages, if you can make them look the same as long as possible in the down, the quarterback doesn't know whether he should be going left or should be going right. And so if you can create that, unsettledness in the quarterback's eyes and mind, then, advantage defense. So I think Mike just has done a good job coaching his safeties, coaching his secondary to, maintain that unsettledness for the quarterback throughout the game and marrying different coverages. And I think you saw that, throughout the season as they defended people.
Why doesn't everybody do that, Kirk?
Well, it's a great question. I think, I used to talk about this with Harrison Smith, who was an all-pro safety in Minnesota, played 14 years. I would say, Harrison, if you could just not get to your landmark that you're supposed to get to for that coverage, you don't understand how difficult that makes it on a quarterback. And Harrison would say, well, Kirk, you don't understand how difficult it is as a defensive player to not be at your landmark. I'm leaving my teammates out to dry if I don't get to my landmark, and that's the spot that you then take advantage of us. So I think to be a good teammate, there's also this, I have a job to do, I have a responsibility, I need to know my job and do my job, and so I can't go rogue either. And I think that's the dance that you have to play as a defensive coach, is to say, I'm going to talk out of two sides and say, on one hand, I need you to get to your spot and do your job. On the other hand, I need you to not get to your spot and still do your job. And I think that's maybe where Seattle has found a good marriage of saying, hey, we can still be sound in our scheme, not be vulnerable to giving up big plays that hurt the team, but still be able to make it look muddy. And then I think having good players doesn't hurt, right? Like when you look at their roster, there's a lot of high picks, first-round picks in the front. The nickel's a really good player. Safeties are really good players. So John Schneider's done a great job building that roster, and I think at the end of the day, players do make a big difference also.
It's interesting, Brock, hearing him say that. I think about the line you often use about being an artist, not a blacksmith, right, as a quarterback. But it sounds like what Kirk is saying is there's an element of that on the other side of the field as well. You can't be a blacksmith and just, I've got to be at this spot at this exact moment. There almost has to be some artistry to it. Go ahead.
No, I think that's really well said. And then, Kirk, when you've got guys like, I don't know, Nicky Manwari, we had Phillip Rivers on last month doing this. And he was
exactly where I was going next also.
Yeah, and he was absolutely hilarious as he was talking through it. And he talked about, they just don't have any tails. We're motioning, we're shifting, We're going formation to boundary, We're doing all this. And you can't tell man or zone. And then he added on Nicky Manwari. So just from your standpoint, you faced, I don't know, 1 million guys in 15 years. What was number 3 like, and what did he add to the mix?
Yeah, no, he reminds me of the guys that played in the Pete Carroll Seahawks defenses with just a lot of passion and energy and competitiveness. And he would have fit right in with Seattle, 10, 15 years ago with that defense. So, I'm sure that Schneider probably saw a lot of that in him when he evaluated him and took him. So, great player, and I would agree with Phillip that they're not going to give stuff away. It's just a combination of getting the right players in there, having a great scheme, and then being able to communicate it where everybody's on the same page and playing together. And I think that's another underrated piece when you kind of peek behind the curtain in Seattle. You feel like they've done a really good job of building a cohesive unit where people care about one another. It's not just independent contractors and mercenaries, but it's guys who get to know one another and invest in each other. And it's difficult to say that, hey, because we spent quality time together away from X's and O's, that's going to help us play better on third down. You can't quantify that, but there's something there going on, I think, where they do intentionally try to help players and coaches and staff get to all know one another on a deeper level. And I think in doing that, you do play better on third down. That's just kind of how it works.
What about just his size and speed combo? We've just heard from people around the league that, as offenses are trying to run against smaller defenses and throw against larger defenses, that a guy like Manwari makes it really hard because he's a safety, he's a nickel, but if he's playing defensive end, he's like not that bad at it. So how do you account for a player like that in the modern defense?
Yeah, I think positionless players can be somewhat of a high risk, high reward. I'm maybe talking a little bit out of my depth here, but I'm not a GM, but I do think that there's an attraction in the first round of drafting a guy who you say, I don't know what he's going to play, but he's a great athlete, and because he can do a lot of things, that Swiss Army knife factor could be a real advantage for us. And at times that backfires because a guy never really learns a position. He never really gets comfortable, is kind of a fish out of water, and great athlete, but can never really fit into the scheme. Other times it becomes the best thing ever because, like you said, offenses say, well, is he a linebacker? Is he a safety? Is he a blitzer? What is he, a good cover guy? Like, how do we attack this personnel grouping? Because we don't know what they're going to ask him to do from one snap to the next. And that can be a huge advantage to a defense. But I've seen it go both ways, where you get that player out of college who you don't know quite how he's going to fit, and it can go really well or it can go really poorly. And it would seem with Seattle that's gone really well.
You mentioned earlier how he would have fit, Nick would have fit with that old Seahawk defense. You can go anywhere you want with this, Kirk. Just compare and contrast facing Pete Carroll's single post safety and the last couple years against this Mike Macdonald scheme.
Well, what was interesting about the Seattle defense, 12 years ago was you knew the call before you broke the huddle. Like Gus Bradley, you know what he was going to call. You knew what Dan Quinn was going to call. It was going to be spot drop, 3 deep, 4 under with a carry side and a spot drop side. It was going to be, 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. You're going to get Cam Chancellor usually down in the box, Earl Thomas in the post. Sherm was going to play on top and outside a corner. It's one thing to know it. It's another thing to be able to execute against it. And, you knew Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett were going to be screaming off the edge when you got in pass down situations. And, it was very straightforward. It was just hard to attack. I think with this defense now, it's not like you break the huddle and say, I know what you're going to do. It's more of I don't know what you're going to do. And even after snapping the ball, you say, I still don't really know what you're going to do here. That's probably the biggest difference in the defense was with the one of 12 years ago. You could predict it, but that didn't mean you could take advantage of it.
which is harder to play against?
Well, I've always said the biggest flex is to say, here we are, do your best. That's the all time when everybody knows, where you're going to be and you still can't beat it. That's pretty tough. That's pretty humbling. But there's certainly when you can create a lot of mystery and confusion and an unsettledness, pre-snap and post-snap, that also has its positives. But I've always said if you can take away explosives and make offenses earn it, on the short gains over and over and over, and there really are no freebies, no easy plays throughout the game, those are the hardest defenses to go against, where it's going to be hard earned for 4 quarters. And I think in both cases, those defenses, took away the explosives.
Well, it's funny you say it because it kind of comes back to that word patience again, right? And when I think of you and your career, I think of that as being one of your strengths, right? Being able to be patient and maybe, have some success against the Pete Carroll teams because you were willing to wait them out and continue to take what was actually given to you. But I would imagine that's really challenging to do.
It is. I think sometimes I was better at it than other times. I think when I was a younger player, I was probably more impatient than I am now. And, one of our owners with the Raiders is Tom Brady, and I've been able to intersect with him briefly being around the building and even briefly talking football with him. You understand that that's what Tom was. And it's really effective. If you can just let the game come to you, death by 1,000 paper cuts, the big plays will present themselves when the time comes, but you don't need to go force it. And, I wish I had the conviction I have now saying that when I was a rookie, but it took time learning it and took a few scars to be able to get there. But I agree wholeheartedly with, kind of the way Tom Brady played it, and I think it's the best way to play in this league, knowing the big plays will present themselves when they're there.
I'm curious, Kirk, have you looked at any of how Sean McVay attacked Seattle? Because he and Matty were about the only ones over the course of the last 2 games, the Thursday night thriller and obviously the NFC title game. They were really the only 2 games where that defense was truly on their heels and gashed. Did you notice or have a chance to really study any of that?
I think going into the Super Bowl, my thought was if you're New England, you've got to go study both Rams games and you've got to study the Tampa game, because those were the only people that really were that effective against the Seattle defense. And, Tampa up in Seattle. And I guess L.A. really up in Seattle both times too. So, didn't make the difference for New England being able to have that tape. But I think those are the 3 games that you want to study and say, okay, this worked. What took place? What made it work? And I think that's really your formula, because you don't have much of a sample size besides those games.
No, you don't. And Stafford's pretty good. He can put the ball in some places. And that Tampa game, Seahawks were down Eamon Worry and a couple guys on the D-line, which made it a little bit easier as well. Last couple things for me, Kirk, and really do appreciate this time. I'm going to imagine in the days and weeks and months ahead, as Clint now, puts his culture and identity in there into Vegas, you're going to be watching some Seahawks clips. Probably going to be a little bit of the Seahawks offense a year ago with what they did. A, have you started to look at any of that? And B, what stood out to you with what they did offensively a season ago?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Most of our cut-ups, most of our teach tape is Seattle from the past year, and in some big moments in some big games. It's not just clips and ho-hum moments in the first quarter. It's, you're seeing the Super Bowl logo on the turf when you're watching some of the teach tapes. So that's fun to watch. But, you see Sam just being a great signal caller, throwing the ball with accuracy, especially deep, getting through his progressions. You see, an offensive line that's playing hard, that's blocking well. You see Kenneth Walker running hard. You see, JSN all over the tape, doing all kinds of different things. But and you see a good scheme. You see a scheme that kind of can get you off balance in a lot of different ways. So, we're going to try to take the best of that Seattle tape and try to apply it here in Vegas and see if we can't, have some great cut-ups that have Raiders players doing it when we watch the tape next year. But for right now, we're learning off of Seattle tape for sure.
All right, so there you go. That's the first part of our interview with Kirk Cousins. You can find that whole thing on YouTube. And, yeah, maybe it works even a little bit better when you can see the video of him. He was in his hotel room, as you heard, in Vegas. Yeah, so we did that at home. It's a little different. Sorry if the audio is not A-plus ideal, especially mine. I was just in my kitchen. Now I know. I think maybe I need to go to a room with more padding.
Maybe Salk.
A padded room. I obviously keep a padded room
Maybe
in my
your
house.
basement with a 5-foot ceiling.
Yeah.
That might work better,
Yeah,
too.
well, at least there's rugs down there. Yeah, there's some carpeting, so that might help. So sorry about the fishbowl sound, but in any event, a lot of good feedback here. This interview's made me a big fan of Kirk. I watched the quarterback. I really enjoyed getting to know him. He's a very good interview. I enjoyed kind of just hearing the perspective, similar to Phillip Rivers, and I kind of put them in similar categories. Maybe Phillip's a little bit more talented, but similar categories, right, of guys that were fairly willing to let the crumbs get you to the cookie, right? Somewhat patient in their career.
Never went broke taking a profit.
That too.
Yeah. And then, to have incredible processors. Right, I was looking at Kirk Cousins' numbers coming out of college at the combine way back when, and didn't jump particularly well, didn't run very fast. Is decent size, 6'2.5", 210, but his gift is that processor. For Phillip Rivers, his gift is that processor, and I think you hear from both of those guys how Mike Macdonald's scheme tries to do all it can to bust that processing ability. When you know what's coming, it's kind of like baseball. Right, when you have an idea like the Astros did of what's coming, it's a little bit easier to hit it. Right, when you're playing quarterback, Salk, and you have an understanding of what that defense is and what your answer is and how you're going to defeat it and where your crumb is, or sometimes even where that cookie is. Right, it's a whole lot easier to play when you don't know. And I thought that was one of the more telling parts of it is, yeah, you go up to the line of scrimmage, and every QB is always taught safeties are your first tell.
Right,
it's your first tell. Is it two high? Is it one high? Right? And then it's man zone, and then you're kind of going through your checklist, and you're doing it really quickly, like a pilot in a cockpit with all the different protocols. And all of a sudden, you get the ball in your hands, and you should know, and you still don't know. And even as you're 3 steps into your 5-step drop, you're still not getting that declaration from the defense, and it really muddies the processor.
Well, we'll do the rest of that interview tomorrow at 7:30. There's another 15 minutes or so, and we'll play that for you tomorrow. I just enjoyed him. I thought he was thoughtful. Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. And it is, obviously he and Phillip have some perspective at this stage of their careers where they're able, maybe in feeling a little bit more comfortable commenting on some of that stuff because, they don't need to be guarded. They don't need to, they can just sort of let themselves talk, and they know a lot now. They're just a lot more comfortable both in their skin and in the game. So thanks for doing it, Brock. Thanks for setting that up. Do we have any other ideas for that?
Yeah, I think I'm got some good channels of Brock Purdy. And he would be fun because he's seen the Seahawks.
Totally different perspective.
A very different
phase of life. Oh, that would be interesting as well. Yeah. All right. Audio was fine, Salk. Authentic sound. Well, thank you, 425.
Oh, and Aaron Rodgers, too.
Oh, we're going to have Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that'll be good.
He's visiting Pittsburgh this weekend.
Oh, perfect. Well, that should be great. Yeah, let's get Aaron on. Lyle, did you do your homework?
I think.
All right. This can only go well. It's next on Brock and Salk.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over at People Come First. Pretty awesome. PCF Construction Group. And if you've been dreaming of that new deck, you've got to call PCF before even more good weather arrives and their schedule gets all filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round, no matter the weather. And for a limited time, how about this? How about 50% off your demolition costs up to $5,000 when you book your project right now with PCF? Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. After all, they designed and built our outdoor living space, and it was amazing. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction can take a little time, so get the process started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details, like $5,000 off your demo at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Every family has a story to tell. At Dunn Lumber, ours is about trust.
During the Great Depression, trust was hard to come by. People were so skeptical of banks. Customers would stop by the lumberyard, put their money in an envelope, and leave it in this safe. The safe still stands today as a symbol of our most valuable asset, your trust. If there's ever anything we can do to better earn your trust, email me personally. Mike Dunn at dunlumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building trust since 1907.
Saving energy simplified. Snohomish PUD's Rebate Center is your one-stop hub for cash back on energy-efficient upgrades, from heat pump water heaters to all-in-one washer-dryer combos. Whether you're planning a project or already made an upgrade in the last 90 days, the Rebate Center helps you check eligibility, submit receipts, and track your rebate status all in one place. Visit snowpud.com/rebates.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
70 and sunny this week, so get out on the water with ARC, the 100% electric boat. They're doing demos on Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Book one and see what they're all about. I got to ride in the brand new ARC Sport, and it was unlike anything I've experienced. Think of a luxury EV on water, quiet, powerful, easy to operate, heated seats and seat backs, a large touchscreen display. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to Kirkland, they'll pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, final hour here, Brock and Salk Show. Thank you for being with us for the Kirk Cousins interview. As I said, the next part of that will be tomorrow. At 7:30, we'll play you the rest of that conversation with Kirk Cousins. Maura, you started something fun. Things less confusing, things less unexplainable than the 2026 Mariners. And I liked your list. You had some good stuff on here. I added to it. I have some of my own, but I was really excited both to see which of these things Lyle has heard of and what Lyle would come up with himself. So we'll kind of set it up a little bit. Maura, some of yours were great. Advanced calculus. Easier to understand than what's going on with the 2020.
Do you ever take calculus?
Yes.
Maura?
No.
Lyle?
Why don't you take a guess?
You never got to calculus ever?
I really thought Lyle was going to say, "Why don't you take a flying?" Yeah, I really thought that was going a different way.
Yeah, no.
Interesting. Okay.
I did take AP calculus, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Didn't enjoy it, but I did take it. That was kind of where math lost me.
Yeah.
I was kind of fine with math until we got to calculus. And I was like, yeah, this is like the 2026 Mariners. I can't make heads or tails of it. Latin, another course that I took that Maura put on here. Yes, sum SS sunt, for sure. Yes. Rex, regis, regi, regem, regay, reges, regum, regibus, reges, regibus. Wow. Sure. Yeah, I got some of that memorized if you need it. Whoa. Sure. Yeah. We're just
post hoc
non ergo propter hoc. Sure.
One.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yes, Latin, also easier to understand. Maura threw in here when to use affect versus effect.
Yes.
That one gets me. I just go with impact when I can't decide.
Yes.
For me, it's spelling embarrassing. I cannot. If you give me 100 tries, I will screw up embarrassing 90 of them. I just can't do it.
E before I before E. That sometimes can get you.
I would throw on here theoretical physics, or really most physics. I find physics to be very confusing.
That ended me.
Yeah.
Physics is calculus, I was okay.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Shepard was a big part of that at Puyallup High School. She was very helpful. Physics did me in.
Easier to understand than the 2026 Mariners? How about the lyrics to Yellow Lead Banner?
Oh, how about it? Unsealed, on a porch of letters sat.
The people who...
Do you realize that, Salk? Listen, unsealed, on a porch of letters sat. Listen. Oh, hold on. It takes just a second. Come on.
Oh, wait. This might not have any lyrics in it. Hold on. I might have the wrong version. Sorry about that.
Great.
Sorry. Yeah. I didn't get to preview this ahead of time. That's my fault. Here you go. Maybe this one's better. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Remember when we put this to Lou Holtz? R.I.P. It's coming. Trust us.
All right, hold on.
Here we go. Unsealed. On a porch of letters sat.
And that's right. I hear that. Yeah.
I'll say.
I'll never see him.
Yeah. Yep, there you go.
All of me
more confusing.
Never gonna want a better. All right. So also easier to understand, certainly. I put on here James Joyce. If you ever had to read Ulysses or The Dubliners or anything by James Joyce, easier to understand than what the Seattle Mariners will do next. If anyone's ever seen two of my favorite films, Mulholland Drive or really anything by David Lynch, easier to understand.
Mulholland Drive was dumb. I hate it.
No, it's so good. Oh, my God, it's so good. I love Mulholland Drive. So good. Or Lost Highway, same deal. Easier to understand how the internet works, I would say. Lyle, what did you come up with?
I understood none of those, or knew none of those. Well, I had to split it into two categories because most of the things you guys probably want me to come up with are more confusing than the Mariners.
All right, what do you got?
And that's kind of the bit.
Yeah, that's
but you guys want to do less confusing. But they're not actually less confusing for me. They'd be more confusing.
That's the bit. Lyle.
Okay, well, but Lyle's saying it's different for him.
It's different.
That's the bit, Lyle?
Yeah, like things that are less confusing. Sure. Why SpongeBob lives in a pineapple under the sea. That's a little less.
Sure.
What else we got? Well, your ABCs. That's less confusing.
The ABCs? What do you mean?
Like the alphabet. That's less confusing.
So you can understand the ABCs better than the Mariners.
Well, yeah, because there's two categories to this. Less confusing. Yeah.
Okay.
What else? The droids in Star Wars. I mean, these dudes are the worst sharpshooters in the history of the cinematic universe. I mean,
right? They never hit.
They've never hit anything. They make Ben Simmons look like Steph Curry as a sharpshooter. And it's one thing with stormtroopers because they're humans in armor. These dudes are programmed by a program that's supposed to be as deadly as the Empire. It's like they're programmed to miss.
Yep.
They're the worst of all time. Speaking of that, why villains spend 5+ minutes talking to a subject before actually just executing them to give heroes all this time to just step in and save the day.
True. Very confusing.
Like, why don't you just execute your subject, man?
That's a big James Bond problem.
We're getting a deep look into Lyle's brain.
I mean, more confusing? What do you want to draw up? There's about 1 million. How people actually enjoy school? I mean, that's more confusing than the Mariners.
Okay.
So that's one.
How about the Bermuda Triangle was a listener suggestion. Do you know about the Bermuda Triangle?
I mean, there's supposed to be a lot of, like, unknown things that take place there, essentially.
Like what?
I don't know.
They're unknown, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Good answer. Yeah.
Like Amelia Earhart.
What? She was in the Bermuda Triangle?
I don't think we know that. Do you know who Amelia Earhart was?
Pilot?
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty good.
Wow.
I'm impressed. I would have never guessed that you would know who Amelia Earhart is.
What else we got? I mean, how the world was started, more confusing. Don't know.
I think Brock might have an answer for you on that one. Yeah, it depends who you ask.
We'll chat about that off the air.
All right.
Very simple.
Yep.
In the playoffs, letting George Kirby face Kerry Carpenter a third time through the order. More confusing than the 2026 Mariners.
Actually, you might argue that there's some that helps you understand the 2026 Mariners, but okay.
What else? Oh, people that enjoy bunting. More confusing than the Seattle Mariners.
Yes, very confusing. Yes.
I mean, that's like a handful for each side.
That's pretty good. Nice job, Lyle. Thank you for getting it ranked appropriately.
Yes, very good.
Jack in the 425 says, I did a David Lynch movie weekend with my 20-something-year-old daughter. We watched Mulholland Drive in a Eraserhead. She's still befuddled. Yeah, I think that makes sense. You got to watch Lost Highway.
I feel like Mulholland Drive is just a movie people say they like just so they feel cool.
Oh, it's so good, though. Come on.
It's so weird that you just want to be like, oh, I like this artsy movie that no one else gets.
But you're not supposed to get it.
Doesn't it?
You're not supposed to get it.
Maura, that's art.
You're not supposed to get it.
No. It's a David Lynch movie.
Make it?
It's just the warped mind of David Lynch. You just have to kind of... get into it. It's like the 2026 Mariners. Don't try to understand them. Just try to enjoy them. Just try to enjoy the ups and the downs and the ins and the outs and who knows what's going to happen next. And just like we try to figure out and enjoy Lyle, you're not always going to understand
him.
him.
Like philosophy, and I hate philosophy too. I need to understand things.
Moore is you're very cut and dry. Moore likes things very direct. And not a lot of subtlety. More is big on the let's just do this.
What it is.
Let's go straight. And, sometimes there's other directions and twists and turns, much like this 2026 Mariner team. So thank you, Lyle. That was A+ work. You get an A+, as usual, because you're so good at school.
Oh, good.
We'll be right back on Brock and Salk.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hey, Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Yeah, we're getting real close to Mother's Day, just a couple days away. If you are late and haven't figured out what to do yet, go to Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel for the big Mother's Day weekend giveaway. You could win one of 100 designer handbags all filled up with prizes. That's Saturday, May 9th and Sunday, May 10th. Don't forget, book a stay at the new hotel. The spa, unbelievable. Go to snocasino.com for more. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Mother's Day is more than just a date on the calendar. It's a chance to celebrate the women who shape our lives. The moms, the grandmas, the stepmoms, the ones who stepped in, and the ones who never stopped showing up. At Klein Jewelers, we believe every mom deserves something special, just as special as she is. Because mom deserves jewelry that lasts. Klein Jewelers is here to help you pick the perfect gift for all the mother figures in your life. From our family to yours, happy Mother's Day.
If
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
People can see through if it's not genuine. And it's genuine here. The Johnsons always talk about in orientation meeting, their dad and grandpa, they always maintain that it's a people business. We're not here to sell cars and work on cars. That's what we do, but it's really about just helping people. Every month we have a new employee orientation meeting, and the Johnsons present. They can't get out to all the stores every day and meet everyone, but at least they get to shake hands with new employees every month in the orientation meeting. And they tell everyone there's not one car deal or one repair order that is worth tarnishing our reputation and ruining an experience for a customer. That just is really what is instilled.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king. With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge. He wants more, he's got to have more. More bedtime true crime. More podcasts in the shower. Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More. Fast internet speed. He's got the gigs to blow big. Bring him the games. Right now. And his royal we. More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O-Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Mariners get a day off now and do so after winning a series. I know it felt a little funky It did. It did feel like a funky homestand, and obviously getting swept by the Royals and some of the way the wins and losses took place made it feel funky. But win yesterday, it kind of ends up mattering, right? You end up being the first team all year to take a series from the Braves. Afterwards, Dan Wilson happy about what they accomplished.
Excellent series. Great way to end it today. I thought it was just a great ball game up and down. Brian Wu really bounced back today. We talked about it before the game, but this was a great job by him. And I thought, going out there in the sixth inning, 85 pitches I think he was at, hoping he'd get through it. And boy, did he nailed it. And that was really big. It set us up, for the bullpen later in that ball game. And Chris and Zardo and then Ferrer, just continued to do what they do, which was phenomenal. And, Ferrer today 3 in a row, but really wanted to get in there and get that save. And that's impressive. He wanted the ball and just a great job by him today.
Kind of had playoff feel vibes. And obviously not the intensity and not any of that, but just the precision necessary, the starting pitching that was excellent, the bullpen decisions. I think it was the 6th inning, Lyle. I think it was the 6th when Joe found himself up, 2nd and 3rds, a righty on the mound, your 2 lefty bats available. We've talked about this a lot. Rayleigh and Canzone are on the bench. You heard the guys in the booth talking about it, Goldie and Valley, why wouldn't you go to the lefty here? Well, they've done that earlier, and then they kind of get stuck.
Yeah.
Right? And not have that lefty against the righty power arms. So when do you play that card? Not play that? It just kind of had a lot of those decisions of magnitude, and then ultimately the execution to win in the end.
Going to happen when you play against really good teams, really good competition like Atlanta. Yeah, and in there was a heck of a performance by Brian Wu and one from Jose Ferrer. Got to give the guy credit. 3 days in a row, he took the ball, pitched well in all 3 games of the series, and even more so had the right mentality.
He wanted the ball if it was a save situation, and that's what we were trying to get to. And since it was, it was kind of right in his wheelhouse, too, with a couple of lefties to start the inning, and it was just a great matchup. You got to love that. He wanted it, and he was able to get it, and he went out there and did the job.
I don't know what it's about, quarter an inch, maybe an inch, who knows, on that barrel. But that first 97-mile-an-hour heater that he threw, Matt Olson, and he just missed a ball that carried to the warning track.
Just missed.
Yes.
And it would have been, not that it would have been funny if he had hit it for a home run, but you would have been like, man, after everybody had the conversation the day before, about going to Ferrer instead of Munoz, if he had done the exact same thing against Ferrer, Dan would have been like, see, there's really not much you could do here. It turns out that guy's really good. Yeah, I definitely was thinking the same thing. Olson is really... He's better than he was when he was in Oakland, man. He's good. He's really... I remember thinking of him as a good player.
Right.
Now he seems like a great player.
He's got like an old 80s, 90s batting stance, too.
It is a weird batting stance.
Yes.
There's no doubt.
Remember
He's
in the
all
80s and
hunched
90s, you'd have like
and...
Lansford. You'd have all sorts of different funky batting stances. And he's got kind of a...
His is definitely odd.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
But it does some damage.
It does. All right, so 18-20, game out of first place. Day off today, then White Sox in Chicago, Astros in Houston. Those 2 clubs have not played great ball, combined 11 games below 500, although, as we said, the Mariners are confounding. So what does that mean? Carlos Correa, by the way, done for the season. Is it the same ankle? It is, right? It's the same ankle that everybody's been concerned about. So, maybe... see what kind of shape they're in when the Mariners arrive in a few days.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, and we'll see what kind of shape the Mariners are in by then. They should have Brendan Donovan back. He missed a rehab start, unfortunately, last night as the game was rained out in Arkansas, but he should get back out there today. And then I would think he'll be ready at some point pretty quickly in Chicago, maybe even for Game 1 in Chicago tomorrow night, if not the next day.
That'd be nice.
Bryce Miller pitched well, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 61 pitches. So he is obviously getting a whole lot closer to being ready. Here was Jeff Passan with us earlier this week.
I think it all depends on where Luis Castillo's frame of mind is. And if Luis Castillo is open to going to the bullpen, you consider that. And if he is not, then You take a look and see what his willingness to go on the injured list is. And if that's not the case, then maybe you do consider a 6-man rotation. I think there are just lots of different possibilities here, but there's no point in trying to adjudicate them before necessary.
What's your feeling again on a 6-man rotation?
I don't think there's any reason to do it. A, you're weakening your bullpen. You just don't have enough arms then in the bullpen. And B, I think that you're then ensuring that Wu and Hancock, like that, you're just going even longer in between starts. I want those guys out there. They're pitching well.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't think that's necessary. That's probably my least favorite of all the solutions. I would rather see them try to help their struggling or at least injury-riddled bullpen than go to a 6-man rotation. I don't think that's what makes sense. Okay,
cosine.
That's trigonometry, not quite calculus.
Cosine.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
We're kind of going through some potential Seahawks ownership news. Yesterday, it was Bert Breer saying, yeah, Bomber, yeah, Bezos, but not sure how interested either of those guys are. He mentions the name, and I used this one before, Steve Apostolopoulos, Canadian billionaire, who was a bidder for the Commanders. And that's something you often hear. Look for bidders who didn't win other teams. And he was one that
they've been vetted. He's gone through the process.
Yep.
You know what you're getting. Well done on the name. Say it again.
Steve Apostolopoulos.
Good job.
Thanks.
Memory? Name pronunciation?
Well, it depends. I mean, some days better than others. Some days better than others. And then we've got another couple of names coming out today. A group led by Wick Grossbeck and an Indian Steel Titan, Aditya Mittal, and Wick Grossbeck. Wick, I know because he used to own the Boston Celtics. Remember, they sold somewhat surprisingly, 2 years ago, maybe at the most. And so,
was he a part of that ownership?
He was the head of that ownership.
He was. Okay.
He was the primary owner. There were others, but he was the managing partner and guy who was out front. It would be interesting if he was out front.
Is that why a New England Patriots plane is at Boeing Field?
Could be.
Someone from Boston in the house?
Could be, although I don't know why Wick Grossbeck would be on a Patriots plane. I would think he'd have his own plane.
Maybe he's borrowing Bob's.
Borrowing it? Is that something they do?
Sure,
hey, man, can I borrow your plane?
Yeah, mine's busy. Mine's overseas.
Okay.
Mine's in Italy.
Well, what's interesting is that, so Mittal was a big part of he's a part of the new Celtics ownership group. So he helped buy it from Wick.
Okay.
So maybe they got to enjoy each other during that process, and now they're together.
Okay, they're in a pod.
Okay,
whales are in pods. Talking about some whales financially, all right?
All right, that's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
Yeah. Remember, a grouping of wolves is a
pack?
Okay. A grouping of whales is a
pod.
And a grouping of vultures.
A committee.
A committee.
I got you, yeah. It's a committee of vultures. Yes. I know you love that one.
I do.
That's one of your very, very favorites. What do you call a grouping of edge rushers, Brock? Because that question might come up next.
Savage dogs.
Stick around for Bump and Stacy coming up next at 10.
That's right. That's what this news feels like.
Committee for
so there's going to be a committee to decide whether they're going to make an announcement and when they're going to make an announcement.
Give Seattle a team.
Bump and Stacy with Michael Bumpus and Stacy Rost next at 10.
I hope you guys are prepared to be embarrassed by my behavior.
We're going to be on Hard Knocks for sure.
We're definitely going to be on Hard Knocks because I will drag us in front of these cameras.
On Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and pretty cool. Pretty cool that Sea Star Restaurant celebrated 24 years. 24 years is Bellevue's go-to and my go-to for fresh seasonal seafood. And oh my goodness, with April and May and June upon us, the seafood is as fresh as it gets all year. And what I love is being able to count on my good friend, Chef John Howie, and his long-standing reputation for excellence behind every plate, taking those local pristine oysters, the sushi, the cedar plank salmon, the Columbia River salmon that's fresh right now, the Dungeness crab bisque, doesn't matter. Generous portions with true value plus delicious beverage pairings to boot. The Sea Star team creates a welcoming atmosphere with polished service that turns in, great meals into lasting memories. And from the first greeting to the final bite, every detail is cared for and you feel it. When I'm planning a special dinner with family, friends, and colleagues, and got a bunch of them, got wedding showers, weddings this summer, it is C-Star because everyone leaves impressed. And right now, pretty amazing deal. 3-course dinners in the lounge every night. 3-course dinners in the lounge every night, starting at just $50. C-Star, the dining experience you remember. CStarRestaurant.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. Confetti Craze makes it easy to turn any day into a party with its delicious birthday cake flavor and big birthday energy. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. I bring these tiny bottles everywhere to cakeify my day with tasty caffeine boosts. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
When you head to your local Toyota dealer to purchase a new car, ask them this question. Do you offer a lifetime powertrain warranty? If the answer is no, then visit Toyota of Kirkland if you're in the north or Toyota of Renton if you're in the south. Both stores protect your vehicles for life with powertrain warranties on all Toyota models outside of the BZ. Not all Toyota dealers are built the same. Head to toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com and receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on your next Toyota.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest, come with no charge.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
Mariners and White Sox tomorrow afternoon in Chicago. First pitch at 4:40, pregame at 3:30. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet. Rely on 2 lines of Essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, another half hour left of our show this morning. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow morning, and we'll have our usual assortment of Friday fun, although we will add Kirk Cousins to that at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Part 2 of the interview, you can find that whole thing up on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. And then G. Scott will be in, and we'll have, I think, Stacy. I haven't talked to her yet, but hopefully we'll get Stacy to come by as well and have some fun with her. And then open phone lines, of course, at the end of the day. We could talk through where the Mariners are at, Seahawks, and maybe even get to some of this Seahawk buying, the ownership change that's going to go on here. I think sale is the word I was looking for. Nice job, Mike. There. Yeah, it's obviously been a long day. Apostolopoulos I got. The word sale, obviously, just a little beyond me. Don't worry about that. In the meantime, just with the team itself, I liked our conversation with Tom Pelissero yesterday, Brock, and starting to think about what else, if at all, what else, if anything, they're going to do. And, we've had a whole bunch of these other names come up in different places. We've talked about Cam Jordan as another option. Joey Bosa's name has now come up a couple of times. I don't know whether that's a direction I would want them to go, but that name has come up. Yesterday, you saw the name Thibodeau, Kayvon Thibodeau from the Giants as another possibility if they might be looking to trade an incredibly talented but guy who's not really worked out all that well in New York. Are you looking to take a chance on another guy? And of those three, did any of them jump out to you?
None of them really work for me. And I understand the Thibodeau one, and that got a little bit more steam because, again, of just kind of I think it was John Boyle's piece that he did and inside the war room. And at one point, they looked in after the Arvell Reese pick to the Giants. They looked at the New York Giants edge rushers. And I think Mike McDonald's comment was, that's just stupid. That's just stupid. Like Arvell Reese and Thibodeau and the guy and Burns. And I mean, just, lots of riches there and an immense amount of talent. But I don't know. None of those guys strike me as the whole Seahawk competitive mentality. It's all about the ball, man. It's all about your teammates. It's all about the collective. It's all about the 70 strong. One way or another,
Cam Jordan is the one that kind of, I would think, would fit that. No?
And maybe he does. He just strikes me as just kind of, trying to play it out, trying to get maybe one more year somewhere. Or, we did a little UFL stuff, and he was doing some of the media stuff. And this is, again, not a slight at all. And it's awesome that you're preparing for your career after your career. But, just kind of, I think got a lot going on. And I don't know if, man, the burning desire to sell out everything for my team. Again, that may be totally unfair. That's a speculation on my part. Right. But the fact they've not brought any of them in outside of the guy they actually signed, that's your tell. Right? When they're interested, they're going to bring you in, kind of like these top 30 visits. There's a reason for that. They don't just kind of waste their time with it. And they had brought, obviously, Fowler in before the draft. We're curious how that draft would go. I think they had a sense that in 32, in 64, and 96, that an edge was probably not going to fall to them. And they all went off the board there in the second round and ended up getting that deal done with Fowler. But none of those three really, I think got more fascination for the old Saints edge than just about anybody I've heard.
No, I don't have a fascination. I just, he's been around a long time. He's pretty old.
I love him. I think he's been a really good player for a really long time.
Yeah, and Bump is the one I think that's mentioned his name a bunch. Probably more so than me. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Joey Bosa to me would be a no. I'm not interested in watching him collect money by sitting on the sideline on the aisle.
Injured a
thanks,
lot.
I'm good. I don't need Joey Bosa, collecting welfare here from the Seahawks. I'm sure he'd love that description. And then Cam Jordan, I mean, you could sell me, I guess, is where I would be at on Cam Jordan. You could sell me on it. If he still had it, okay.
Old.
But he has not played fewer than 16 games his entire career.
It's crazy. Guy just does not miss games. Yeah.
Nope.
And then Thibodeau, I think you're right on that one. I don't think that one excites me that much. I do like the talent, but But I think you're right. There's no reason to go down that road, especially with what you'd have to give up. I would like to see them re-sign Derick Hall. If you're not going to go out and get yourself another pass rusher, and I can understand why not. You got 4. Going to 5 feels a little extreme. Then re-sign Derick Hall. Maybe you got to wait until the Spoon deal gets done. Okay, fine. Maybe that one's takes precedent. I'm fine with that. But I would love to see something done before the season and announce it before training camp and say, yeah, Boye Mafe wasn't our kind of guy, wasn't our kind of player, rather. No, I think he was their kind of guy. I don't think he was their kind of player. Is Derick Hall? Is he their kind of player? Heavy hands, sets an edge, all of that. There's no doubt he's their type of player. He's rugged. The question, I guess, would be, is he their type of guy?
Is there enough finish and productivity? Because that was the thing with Boye. Is, maybe the stoutness against the run was okay. It wasn't rugged. And then it was, you win, but you don't finish. You don't finish those sides. Has there been enough finishing from Derick Hall?
I don't know. They just went out and signed the guy who did a lot of winning without finishing last year. Right? I mean, didn't they?
For kind of.
I understand, but if they wanted if they wanted finish over win, they would have signed Cam Jordan. He had 10.5 sacks last year. They obviously wanted win over finish. Okay. I have no problems with that.
I think a little more twitch, a little more speed, a little
understood. But Brock, I think it's hard to kind of go in both directions. And if Derick Hall wins a lot and sets an edge and plays the style of game you want, and oh, by the way, all of your other edge guys are at or near retirement. I'd like to have something to bank on at that position moving forward, knowing that DeMarcus Lawrence may very well be done after this year. We didn't even know if he was going to play this year. Chenna is certainly a question mark at this point. You're getting the last vestiges here of Dante Fowler.
Year to year. I think it's fair to characterize. Say those guys are all very much year to year.
So wouldn't you like to see
maybe even Leonard Williams too?
Then wouldn't you like to see one stalwart there? That doesn't mean you've got to say that he is like your ace, your number one guy, but if someone's going to pay Boye Mafe $20 million, you probably got to think about doing the same type of thing for Derick.
Well, I mean,
and I'd be happy to stand up and be the guy on the Derick Hall town crier. Sure, let's do it.
You be that guy.
I'm happy to be.
A year ago, they pursued Boye and Kobe Bryant to try to get a deal done, and both of those guys, and especially Kobe, were like, "No, I'm going to bet on myself." And he bet big and won big, because the deal I think that they were, proposing a year ago was maybe even less than what Julian Love makes, or somewhere in kind of that conversation or neighborhood. And Kobe said, no, I'm good. I'm going to play it out and see hopefully what the market leads to. And what the market led was to quite a bag. So Derick Hall, I could see them approaching him this summer and saying, okay, what's it going to take? It's not 3 years, 60. We're not going there. But is there a deal that can be a little bit more friendly? You get some money, you get more than you've ever made, but it's not going to be top of market. And I would think Derick Hall says, yeah, thanks.
Is Boye Mafe top of market, though? I mean, top of market was a lot more than 3 for 60.
Well,
why wouldn't you?
We're not J.J. Watt.
Okay, but you're telling me you wouldn't
give Garrett.
You wouldn't give Derick Hall what someone just gave Boye Mafe
right now?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Why not?
I got to see more. I got to see more finishing. I got to see double-digit sack season.
I'm so much more. Brock, they just gave that much money to what's his name, the wide receiver.
To Rashid Shaheed?
Rashid Shaheed. Didn't he get $20 million? Or close to it?
It was like 16, 17.
Okay. Sorry. It was. Excuse me. They gave 17.
Yes.
Where was all his productivity in the passing game? Don't you have to see it?
I saw a couple kickoff return touchdowns.
I saw those too, but you're not giving $17 million for kickoff
punt return touchdown that changed.
But you're not giving $17 million for that. So where's all his production in the receiving game? I would absolutely look. Derick Hall plays.
Mafe's contract is 22nd in total value.
That sounds about right
for pass rushers.
Perfect. Put Derick Hall right. I mean, look, they overpaid on Boye Mafe. Good for them. But if you've decided Derick Hall is your guy, I would love to see them sign him up and take care of one of the most important positions on the field for the next few years, given that everyone else they have on their roster at that spot is a gigantic question mark after this season. Gigantic question mark.
Would you, and this is the real conversation, right? Because this is the budget and the plan, and this is the way they go about doing all of that. Would you prioritize that over keeping money in the kitty for Byron Murphy?
I don't.
If you had to choose between one of those two,
but you know what? I
prioritize.
refuse to have that conversation.
Oh, thanks.
I refuse to have that conversation.
Maura, he's refusing.
You know why? Because I wouldn't have spent the freaking money on a wide receiver this past offseason.
On JSN?
Not that wide receiver.
Oh.
I don't want to hear that. Sorry, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that you don't have enough money for Byron Murphy and for Derick Hall. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Not after you spend all the money you did on wide receivers this offseason. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Because I said it at the time. And what did people say? Oh, Salk, you'll never have to have that conversation. Don't worry. Cooper Kupp is going to end up moving on by then. And this guy does this. And you'll never have to worry. You can do both of those things. Okay, cool. Then I better not hear now, well, you can't do both. You can't have Derick Hall and Byron Murphy. Yeah, I want both. I want Derick Hall and I want Byron Murphy. And if that means I don't get Rashid Shaheed, okay. I like Rashid Shaheed. I'm happy he's on the team. But at $17 million, I said at the time, I would rather have that go to Byron Murphy or Derick Hall. They play more important positions, and they're better at those positions.
No, I think that is fair, and I love your conviction behind it. I guess I just like to see a little more. And obviously, the Super Bowl was amazing, and he was at his best there down the stretch. And he's going to, I think, have an opportunity to do more this year. I think you're going to limit some of those reps of Fowler, and maybe that rotation does look a little different, and maybe you'll lean into him a little heavier. Maybe he starts. Maybe he's the starter opposite DeMarcus, and then all of a sudden Chenna and Fowler are rotation guys. I also have got to see, and I know you poo-poo this, understandably, but there is enough Ty Okadas. There is enough Drake Thomas. There is enough of guys making their mark and going, no, I can really play. And I need to see what you have in Ivy and what you have in O'Toole, and because these guys do have some gifts.
Brock,
they do have some talents.
Even if you get something with those guys, even if you have something with those guys, I'm not poo-pooing that. Yeah, maybe you do. But you're still dealing with the fact that all three of your other edge guys are on year-to-year situations. So, okay, let's say one of those, I think it would be unreasonable to assume that more than one of them pops. So somebody from the Ivy, O'Toole, Sheriff combo pops this year and becomes like, this year's version of Ty Okada absolutely. Great. Cool. That replaces DeMarcus Lawrence. Maybe it replaces Dante Fowler. Maybe it replaces Chenna, but you're not replacing all three. So, yeah, I just as strongly as I felt about trading DK Metcalf a couple of years ago, that's how strongly I feel about paying Derick Hall. And I don't think you should have to not pay Witherspoon because of it. To me, that's almost a given. They're going to find a way to get that done. He's their guy.
Yes.
But once you've done it, I would love to see something happen for Derick Hall, and I'll bang the table for it because I think it's important.
Yeah, you are.
We talked to Tom Pelissero.
From day one,
strong
you loved
debate
his
between you two.
Thank you.
Got a little heated, but you guys.
I don't know.
No vein. Oh no,
is this
Maura,
heated?
Do you see a vein in my forehead or neck? I
the
don't.
only way it gets a little heated is when Brock brought up the Byron Murphy thing because I was adamant about this a few months ago. Like this was a big thing
Maura,
for me a few months ago.
That's the only point he refused conversation.
I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because the moment that conversation comes up of, well, which of these two do you want? I say, then cut the wide receiver. Just not as important.
Line of scrimmage. The only other caveat to that, and I know you want to get to this Pelissero sound, is the fact that for 2 years now, in the years preceding that, Mike Macdonald has got a pretty good feel for what he wants and what he's able to get out of the
if Mike
edge.
Macdonald doesn't like him, if he doesn't think he's the right guy, then fine. Like obviously that completely changes all of the calculus, Lyle. There you go on this conversation.
And there's pretty good supply typically in the veteran market, which you're seeing now. There's pretty good supply in this last year's draft. There's going to be good supply, if not great supply, in this upcoming draft. It is the one position
to me
where
that's yes
you
and
do have some supply.
That is all yes and for me. Like, yes, sign Derick Hall and go look at those things. But you're right. The caveat should absolutely be if Mike Macdonald's not in, then don't worry about it. Like I'm assuming he is because he plays the position in such a way that is different from Mafe, and I was assuming that they were sort of looking at one or the other. And if you're deciding Mafe's not the guy, I would tend to hope that that Derick Hall is. Yeah, we asked Pelissero if they could still add. He went in a few different directions.
Think about the number of big names that are out there right now without teams. I mentioned all those pass rushers, but look at the receivers. You got Debo, Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek, who's obviously coming off a major injury. We'll see if he's, ready to go in 26. Keenan Allen, Juwan Jennings, Odell's trying to get back in. Brandon Cooks is out there. Like, this is that time of year where all these guys who have made a ton of money aren't going to get offered a ton of money. And so at some point, you got to decide, do you want to play football? Take the best offer, the best situation, and get out there. They had running backs in the offseason, too. They had Najee Harris in for a visit. I haven't gotten the sense that that's still on the table for him. And obviously bringing in Jadarian Price shores up that running back position. They were confident enough in what they think they're getting with Price that they didn't want to move all the way back into the 50s and risk losing the guy. Certainly you could add a running back along the way as well. Austin Eckler's out there, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon.
Yeah. I think, honestly, I feel the same way as we had a little bit of this yesterday. There's a bunch of guards. He could go on with guards, Petonio and Zeitler. They're not going that route. I know that very confidently. Really. Yeah. Receiver, they're not going that route. Once Bobo, and they matched that offer on Bobo, I think that is out the door with Shaheed and Kupp and the rest of it. I don't think they're going to bring in any other edge guys. I think this was the one that they targeted. They wanted. I talked about all the youth. You got to have runway for these young players to show what you can do.
Is running back,
I think
though,
Najee Harris. Yeah, I think Najee Harris, depending on what Emmanuel Wilson looks like through OTAs, is there a little bit more juice there, right? They kind of took a flyer on him, minimal deal, no risk. What does Charbonnet's rehab look like, right? How many milestones is he hitting? Is he ahead of schedule? Is he behind schedule? Does it look like he may not be a factor for this season, or is he in the Mahomes camp where he's ahead of all these benchmarks? And I watched a video that he posted on his Instagram. Looks pretty good. You wouldn't know which knee it was by kind of watching him train, but that plays a role in it. Then what do the other running backs you have? Velus Jones and Kenny McIntosh, and where are they in the process?
So let me run through the list of running back names he just gave. For me, a few of them are. He said that you didn't get the sense Harris was going to happen. So throw that one out for now.
No, I don't think so. You got the sense that Harris was the one they brought in.
But then he said, I don't get the sense that's still on the table.
Not right now. Yep, certainly not right now. I don't think any of them are right now.
Austin Eckler, as Maura said, just struggling at this point health-wise.
Fantasy dynamo for some years. Oh, could he catch the ball in the back?
I'll admit some difficulty with either Kareem Hunt or Joe Mixon based on their past. I know that you've got guys and the league has a bunch of domestic violence people around, abusers. Sometimes they're on your team. We've gone through this conversation a million times. I don't see any reason to bring one on for no reason. You don't need that position badly enough that you would need to go to Kareem Hunt or Joe Mixon, and so I'm going to cross them off my list. I am curious if you'd have any interest in Nick Chubb. Been talking about him a long time, and he'll be 31 years old.
So much.
I know.
Tear.
But
that's where Najee Harris doesn't have quite as much.
Though, 2 years, Nick Chubb did basically nothing. In 2023, he played 2 games, 28 carries, right? He got hurt. The next year, he only played in 8 games, 100 carries. Last year, he started to work more, but he still only had 122 carries for 500 yards.
Right.
So, yeah, the last 3 years, he hasn't really worked much.
Wow, because it was a catastrophic
I understand.
Injury.
But the productivity last year was not bad. 122 carries for 500 yards is more than 4 yards per carry. I don't know. Of all those names, the one that I would find most intriguing would be Nick Chubb, and right the wrong from all of those years ago. You're not looking at him to be a bell cow. You're looking at him to share some carries here.
Yeah, I think the one for me would be Najee, because he is different. His body type is different. His pass catching is different. Productive. Obviously he too had an injury, a freak one with the fireworks and kind of blowing his, just as nasty. He would be the one that I would be. I don't think has quite as much wear and tear as all of those other guys do. And
last year was the only season, and that was the injuries where he didn't have 1,000 yards.
Yeah. So I don't know. He's more, obviously was in Pittsburgh, and they're much more of a gap scheme than they are this outside zone. So maybe the outside zone doesn't fit as well. But to me, that is a little bit like this edge guy. We got to give this offseason the runway to see what we have, where Kenny McIntosh is, where Charbonnet is, where obviously Jadarian is, and how much of the load can he totally carry, where, George Halani is, who did some really nice things at the end of the year. And I continue to look at these pictures and videos of Seahawks Post, and man, he looks lean and explosive. And he went to work on that aspect of the game, because that's what he's got to show that he can do a little bit more of. So
what's funny? Nick Chubb, who I wasn't even sure where he was playing last year. I had to go to Pro Reference just to see where he was last year in Houston.
Yep.
Nick Chubb averaged more yards per attempt last year than Najee Harris has for his career.
Yep.
Najee Harris never been that effective.
Never
honestly.
been that explosive. No.
I mean,
He's been
yards per attempt each year, 3.9, 3.8, 4.1, 4.0, 4.1. You know what Nick Chubb is for his career? 5.0.
Oh,
and I know that he's not the same guy anymore, so I'm not looking at you saying like, oh, my God, you got to get Nick Chubb in here. But I don't know. Nick Chubb seems more intriguing to me than Najee does. So, all right.
Good debates, good conversations, and again, I think their process, their development, their culture, their guys, they like more than others do. You take a look on the outside; they've never been. I love that with Pelissero, the way he framed all of that with John. Right? They know from a value and evaluation whether it is. You know, the little debate there with Derick Hall. They got a number. They got a sense of what they would do, I think, with him.
Can I also admit something while we're having this debate? Can I admit something? This is going to be embarrassing. This is, what do you always say, Brock, about confession?
Good for the soul, bad for the reputation.
There is a part of me that every time I think about Najee Harris, I just think about Najee Davenport, and that makes it hard for me.
Yeah.
Like, that guy got in trouble for some weird stuff at Miami. Najee Davenport. You remember all those stories? You don't remember the stories about Najee Davenport, like going through underwear drawers and stuff?
Oh, really?
There were really weird stories about that guy. Old running back for the Hurricanes, Green Bay. I don't remember where else he was. But, like, every time I see the name or hear the name Najee Harris, I think a little bit about Najee Davenport. And that
like weird fetish guy? Like weird?
He definitely had some weird stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was something very strange.
Mara's really hoping the clock speeds up.
Is it? And they both played for the Steelers, too. Yeah, he ended up going to the Steelers. The Steelers have led the league in Najees. I think you would be willing to say at this point.
Well done.
All right, we're going to get going here in just a moment or two. Brock, don't worry, Maura. We're going to end this thing and be done for the day. Yes.
Not in any trouble.
We got a lot of fun, though, tomorrow. Yeah. Lyle, thank you. You were a big part of the success of today's show. How do you feel today? You feel good?
I think so, yeah.
Did the win yesterday help you understand that the season's not over? Do you feel good about it?
I mean, better.
Better. Okay. What do you need to see to feel good?
More wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winning series.
That helps.
That's kind of the next. I think the next step in this deal is they get healthy
wins.
and just
you got to stack them.
Yeah.
Stack some series wins.
Okay. We'll stack hits and walks and home runs, and then you can stack series wins, starts for your pitching.
Second half, Kirk Cousins tomorrow. What time? 7:30.
7:30. We're stacking elements of the Kirk Cousins interview.
Love it.
I forget the story about Najee Davenport.
Great.
It's definitely weird, though.
Hopefully you didn't just falsely accuse him.
Yeah, are you
think
sure
so.
about this? Digging through underwear drawers? Are you sure?
No. I'm not sure at all.
Najee Davenport laundry basket is one of the things that pops up when I Google
There
him,
is
so I
something
think
weird,
you're
man.
Well, this says he allegedly defecated into a laundry basket.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, I was close.
So
breaking into a university dorm and defecating in a woman's closet.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, I wasn't that far off.
Okay, we're in the barn.
We got to
That's
go.
where we gotta go.
We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bump and Stacy up next. The Hay.
We're in the barn.
Yeah, it is. See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Stick around for Bump and Stacy coming up next at 10.
That's right. That's what this news feels like.
Committee for
So there's going to be a committee to decide whether they're going to make an announcement and when they're going to make an announcement.
Give Seattle a team.
Bump and Stacy with Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross next at 10.
I hope you guys are prepared to be embarrassed by my behavior.
We're going to be on Hard Knocks for sure.
We're definitely going to be on Hard Knocks because I will drag us in front of these cameras.
On Seattle Sports.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ew. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble.
But getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
Go ahead, take the leap. Upgrade your pad with Snohomish PUD. Trim your energy costs and cozy up your home with rebates on windows, insulation, heat pumps, and more. Get the jump on comfort and savings you'll enjoy for years. Snohomish PUD has helped customers save energy and money for over 45 years. Don't wait. Hop over to snowpud.com/rebates.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Frank Lumber, the door store, has some exciting news. After 6 long years, our Marysville store will be reopening this Memorial Day, May 25th. Our regular hours will be Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But on Monday, Memorial Day, May 25th, we will be celebrating our grand reopening from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by for a hot dog and pop and see the thousands of doors and discounted specials. Visit us this Memorial Day at Frank Lumber in Marysville on Cedar Avenue. We'll see you there.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. And if you've been dreaming of that new deck, you got to get a hold of PCF. Call them before the great weather arrives and their schedule gets totally filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round no matter what the weather brings. And for a limited time, how about this? Get 50% off demolition costs up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we love it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, and construction can take a little time, so get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and look at all the offer details at PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
Hello, my friends. It's DeGraws here, encouraging you to golf local. Our region is blessed with a ton of golf that isn't very expensive and can accommodate all types of skill levels. Check out the premier courses at Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Inner Bay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Legion Memorial, Linwood, or Walter Hall. You know, wherever you are in Western Washington, you're not far from a premier course. Why not book a tee time online or play Top Tracer at the range at Inner Bay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park?